All right, welcome to the Tuesday show. My name is Ultra David here with yet another hoodie and James Chen wearing yet another overshirt.
Yep, with another fighting game thing on there.
How's everybody going?
How's everybody going? I'm James Chen. Yeah, anyway.
Sorry I'm so late. It was entirely my bad. I just got caught up with some work and that needed to be done before I came here.
I'm just trying to figure out when I switch the scene. Usually it doesn't kill the audio, but it killed the audio that time. And I'm trying to figure out why that happened. But
I'm sure you'll figure it out. We got these topics up here. We'll talk about Final Kombat and the results and the controversy and, unfortunate stuff.
Yeah.
We'll talk about event cancellations. In addition to that, we'll talk about the idea of the FGC maybe needing more content.
Different style.
Or different style of
content. Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about more event results, talk about other game news. But let's begin with the Final Kombat.
First of all, I just want to say the viewers at home probably can't really tell, but I've done some cool stuff with the overlays here.
Indeed.
I mean, even the bars look a little more like less flat now, and
it looks great to me.
Yeah, so kind of upgraded a little few things, but now I can control topic creation and stuff like that very easily using Farb's stream control tool.
Nice.
So I'm super happy. There you go.
All right.
Okay.
Jasmine's happy too.
Yes, this is Ken. This is ST Ken. It's the original sketch art from there, yes.
That's cool. I like it.
Oh,
I like it.
hi, kitty.
All right, let's talk about the Final Kombat 2020.
Yes.
Which was this past weekend. Now, this is the culmination of the first season of Mortal Kombat 11's Pro Tour. It was mostly 2019, and then it continued into 2020. I don't know
Only via Final Kombat.
Yeah, it's been... what was it? 2 or 3 months since the last major that was on the tour, maybe 3.
Yeah, Liga. It was the Liga.
Liga Latina was, but even before that, and the first person who actually qualified for sure was Stabs, and he did that winning the Canadian event in like August or something. It's been like actually forever. But all right. So it finally did occur. It was this past weekend in Chicago. I went there for it, and that's where I got this.
Oh, nice.
As well as a bunch of other swag. They swagged me up.
I saw that. Because
there was
that cool swag
a lot of swag to go around.
Yeah.
That wasn't. It was not actually meant for some of us who got the swag.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
So. It included not just the finals, the top 16 players in the world, 15 of whom who had qualified beforehand by getting points. You know how these things work, these Pro Tours work. And there was supposed to have been a last chance qualifier the day before, and whoever won that would then be the 16th player. You know how these things work.
Right. Unfortunately...
So there I am. I've just flown all the way from Los Angeles to Chicago.
And boy, were your arms tired.
Boy, were my arms tired. And then they actually arranged a car for me to go to the hotel, which was right next to Lincoln Park, which is a super fancy area of Chicago.
Okay.
Right over the water. And I checked in, and I got into the elevator, and I went up the elevator, and I got out of the elevator. And there was Big D, who was another commentator, longtime player in the scene. And I was like, "What's up, man? Great to see you. I haven't seen you in months." And he was like, "Hey, did you hear the news?" And I was like, "No, what's going on?" It's all chipper.
Right.
Yo, I'm so excited to see my friend. Hey! And he let me know that the last chance qualifier had been canceled and that the audience had been canceled for the finals.
Right.
That's when I found out. And he apparently had found out just minutes before. I guess it had been on Twitter, but I just wasn't looking. I don't look at Twitter constantly. Like, pretty often, but like... Maybe I'd missed half an hour in there, and...
You were checking into your hotel.
I was doing stuff, right? Anyway, so I figured out right then what had happened, and...
And I saw that, it seemed like via your Twitter that you were pretty upset about it.
I was very upset about it, yeah.
I mean, were you mad just because it was the last second cancellation?
Yes, just the timing. Look, we talked about the cancellations last week and how it's understandable. Some state and county governments and city governments are requiring that some events be shut down right now, as we'll talk about later. So I get it. I understand that. It was the timing of it. It was the day before. After, not just I had traveled there, but almost everybody who was going to the LCQ was there by that point. That was at about 4 or 5 p.m. the day before.
Right.
And they didn't know. Nobody knew. And so people took off time from work. They left their kids with their family or friends.
Some people flew from outside of the country.
Some people flew from Australia to the U.S. a week before, intending to train to try to win the last chance qualifier.
Is that what Waz did?
And Waz did that, yes. And some players flew from Russia. Azerbaijan was there. Like, Brazil was there. Like, it was... so they were very disappointed.
Yeah.
Obviously needless to say. And, again, I understand canceling. It was the timing that was very difficult to deal with.
Obviously, how many people seemed like they were going to enter the event?
I believe it was 110.
I mean, I think you could allow 110 people. Was it just because people have flown in from all the different parts of the world that made them particularly worried?
I can't really tell you.
Because, I mean, the netcode in Mortal Kombat's good. Maybe they could have just put everybody into giant
in their hotel rooms.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. It was... That was really bad news. And yes, part of the announcement was that they will be reimbursing people's travel and hotel expenses. And so if you're going to make this call of canceling it, and if you do it at the last minute, I think that it is good to give people their money back. I mean, that's...
And they even said they were going to try to help cover hotels and flights and stuff. So.
Yeah, hotels and flights. So that's... I don't know how much money that is, but... It was 100 people who were there for the LCQ, and there was going to be a few hundred people there for the finals day audience. Yeah. And so everybody spent a minimum of several $100s, right, for a hotel at least, even if you took a bus there, right? Some people spent, guessing, $5,000 on round-trip flights and hotels and staying in North America for a week. I don't know. A lot, several $1,000s for sure. So that's got to be six figures of reimbursements that they're lining up.
And the worst thing about it, too, is that the people who took time off from work, they're not going to get that reimbursed, right?
Work is
especially
done.
For those that don't have PTO, who just lose who are hourly, they're just going to lose the money in that situation.
And like I said, some people had to leave their kids with family and friends. I mean, there's any number of crappy reasons for this, or reasons why it sucks.
And and you see from Ace Bunyan on there, it's like the time to train for the LCQ. How many people have been training for the last 3 months because of how long it's been?
You're right, and I spoke with some players who had that exact concern, that exact sort of disappointment.
Right.
In fact, even some guys who live locally, and so it's not like actually they don't even need a hotel, to be honest. It was that they spent who knows how many hours. And they could have been doing anything else. I don't know, working, family, friends, whatever you do. And instead it was this to try to get that LCQ win.
And then they just didn't even get that opportunity.
And they didn't get that opportunity. So instead, the 16th position went to the player who was next on the points leaderboards, which was Kombat.
Who was there to go to the LCQ anyway.
And he was a likely winner. It was probably him or Gurr were the favorites, I would say.
Okay.
But... he ends up getting... Now, if you're going to make this decision to cancel it, I think that's the right way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He's the next person.
Just pick the next person.
Pick the next person.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He did get a lot of flack that I think is very undeserved.
Why did he get flack? He was the next in line in the points. He doesn't deserve any flack.
And regardless of what their criteria is, right? It's not up to him.
Yeah.
Somebody else made the choice.
It's not like Kombat went up to the NRS guys and like, you better put me in. And they're like, okay.
Of course. Of course. But he did get a bunch of flack, so I felt bad for him about that.
That sucks. I'm actually kind of frustrated. But by who? By other people in the community?
Yeah.
Or was it? I mean, I get it. Those guys are probably really bitter and angry that they can't play, and I totally understand. But you don't take it out on Kombat. Take it out on NRS, or take it out on the the coronavirus or something.
Also, Kombat's 16 years old.
Is he?
Yeah. I mean, he's not like some full adult.
Jesus.
Anyway. Yes, and as Waz is in the chat watching tomorrow his time, as he points out, some people said that the top 16 should boycott the finals. Some people said that the top 16 should boycott the finals. Sort of in solidarity, to force the people running the tournament to, I don't know, go back on their call of canceling the event. It's just a bad idea. It's not practical. There's no empathy for the people involved in that situation who could win $40,000 up to. There's no understanding that once NRS or once people who made that call make the call to cancel it, you can't go back on it. Because this definitely happened. Some people were in the airport waiting to fly, and then they saw the announcement and they turned around.
Yeah.
They didn't take their flight. Some people were on the plane, on the tarmac, and saw the announcement and had to fly the entire way.
And then they couldn't even watch on Sunday anyway, right?
That guy ended up getting in.
Oh, okay.
So what they did afterward was, initially, right, they said that there would be no audience at the finals. Well, what they ended up allowing was one family or friend, right 1+1 basically, and one coach.
Yeah.
And so that allowed it to at least have like some additional people in there. If it had been, my expectation walking in that morning was that it would be 16 players, it would be 6 commentators, there would be 10 people working the stream, and a completely empty room. I fully expected to walk into that. And that would have been a big bummer to have the announcements that they had lined up for like the 5 people to say, woo, that just would have sucked all around. So I was glad that there was at least those people allowed.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because obviously MK has kind of been on a roller coaster here now. So since the start of the year. So obviously it started out with the Evo announcement, no MK11 at Evo, and that was kind of a bummer.
That was a big bummer.
But then everybody came back and started rah doing a lot of great things in the community. Things started going up. Then we had the win of Conqueror getting his visa.
That's right.
Which I thought was a great thing.
Totally.
And then this LCQ cancellation here, which really kind of rolled everything back down. What's the pulse on the community right now? Are a lot of people mad at NRS, or did the event go well enough that people were happy, or are just a lot of people like, we're done with NRS, like I'm so sick of these guys, or what's the situation right now?
I will say that if people are mad at NRS, they're mad at the wrong people.
Right, okay.
It's not NRS. They don't run these events, so if that's not their call, don't be mad at the people making the game. It's a different group. It's not even that group. Anyway, I can't get into it too much, but obviously it's not NRS. Yes, there was definitely a feeling on Twitter that I saw people in the scene who were mad and said things like, I'm not going to play anymore. This is too much. I can't do that. I heard some people initially on Friday night say that they were considering like just playing other stuff instead. After the finals, I saw a lot more positivity.
Right.
A lot more positivity. Yeah. The finals were sick, man. The matches were so good. The trailers were cool. At least some people got into the audience. Obviously not as many as we all would have wanted, of course, but at least some people were in there. Other people organized little watch parties. Some people watched on their phone in their hotel room, so that sucks. But some people at least got to hang out with each other. On Saturday, a lot of people went to the Galloping Ghost Arcade for its event, which was at least okay. And I didn't go to it, but I heard it was good. And other people went to Ignite on Friday night, where there was a local. Gur won both locals. Shoutouts to Gur.
Theoretically, couldn't they have just run their own LCQ?
They definitely could have.
Just run it.
Just to be like,
it would have still sucked for the people who turned around and stuff like that, to not be able to get
it wouldn't have, you couldn't have considered it legit, of course. So, but after that finals day of, maybe the best gameplay that we've seen, I had a blast watching it. I'll tell you, dude, I honestly expected to not be emotionally invested. Before I walked in there on Sunday morning, I was really like, I'll give it my best. I'm not going to trash it on purpose, but I just don't think I'm going to be in an excited mood. And it's not very easy to fake hype, and I don't want to do that. So I was just intending to not be that into it. And then when the matches started and people were playing sick, I got lost in it. You can't
do anything. Can't do anything about it. So when the matches are good, they're good.
The matches were great. They really were. They really were.
Yeah, I did manage to see a lot of that tournament.
Okay.
So obviously I wasn't awake when it started, but it was like 10 a.m. when it started around here.
That makes sense.
I wasn't quite awake, but I did watch a lot of it. Yeah, a lot of people talking about the animated series.
Oh yeah,
that you seemed so stoked for after it came out.
Like I said, I'm not very good at faking hype.
You could totally tell Aquaman was like, "Whoa, this looks great. What do you think, David?" And you were like, "That was an animation."
Is that what I said?
No.
Okay.
But that's what was on your face, you know. I could tell you could totally enjoy the violence and the
bones were coming apart at the seams. That's not my bag, right? I talked about this on Facebook, but there was a promo that they wanted to shoot where each of the commentators, all the players too, get interviewed beforehand.
I saw this.
Yeah, and so they ask you like, who's the underdog? Who do you expect to win? Which characters are you looking for? How do you feel about Mortal Kombat? And I was like, I love Mortal Kombat. Gameplay is great. I've been playing a lot of it. Great footsies. Super fun game. And the interviewer was like, all right, well, what about the rest of the game? What do you think about the rest of the game? And I was like, oh, yeah, well, I could do without the gore. Actually, I don't like the gore at all. I think the music is too quiet and not very exciting. It should be brighter, and I'd like more colors. And actually, just get rid of fatalities entirely. And I was like, you probably can't use this interview anymore, so... I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I saw that Facebook post, and then I saw the video clip where they put together where you're like, I really like the gameplay and the neutrals, and gone. And then I was like, yeah, okay. That's all we're going to see on there.
That's all they had for
me.
Then
they probably would have interspliced you going, the music, and then cut away the fatalities, the cutaway, the gore, and then they cut away. Dude, that would have been hilarious. Like, they split you, so it sounds like,
super funny. But no, they didn't do that.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, but I mean, I could tell during the finals you were very into it.
I was.
Like you said, the matches were good enough that it's hard not to be excited, because honestly, it was really some of the best play that, we had seen for Mortal Kombat 11 in a long time. Although, because I've been kind of out of the loop a little bit, man, what the hell with upgraded Jackie? I didn't realize she had become the demon of the game. Yeah, she became the demon of the game.
Definitely.
Because holy crap, I mean, you give a character like that those kind of movement options, they're going to be number one no matter what.
And she probably
I mean, she was very similar, in my opinion, to what Tanya was like at CEO that one time. She just had the most ridiculous air mobility and all this stuff, and you just put any character with that kind of air mobility in any footsie-based fighting game who can change their jump arc or have multiple jump arcs and stuff, and they're just automatically going to be the best. I mean, what was the match that Deoxys did 3 lows, the low option in a row? Because who's going to block low?
It's like -20 or something. But
nobody blocked it low because it's the risk reward is just not there. It's just such a call out on that one. And
no, look, she was super good. Was not as strong as Tanya for sure, but she was definitely among the best, maybe the best character in the game. Yeah, she was really, really good. But at least good in like a fun way, like active way. I don't know. Yeah, she got nerfed anyway today. As we'll talk about later. But as far as the thing overall, again, the people that I talked with at NetherRealm and Warner Brothers were, considering the situation, very happy with how it went. Yes. Right, considering the cancellation and that meaning, right? Obviously, there's problems. With that in mind, they were very happy with how it went, regardless. So shout outs to the people involved who had to mega scramble to make anything like that happen after the cancellation. People were not sleeping. So congrats to the people for putting in that kind of work that mostly goes underappreciated. That just nobody's going to see unless somebody brings it up. So nice work to everybody involved who did that at least. And Ed Boon came up to me afterward, and first of all, he's never like had a conversation with me, even though like I mean, we say hello, but he's never like been like walked up to me, hey David. That's never happened before. But it did this time, and he walked up and he was like, if I could like design in my head what like an ideal commentary would be, it would be what you guys did tonight.
Oh,
I was like, I can't believe that you said that. Awesome. Nobody's ever said that.
Yay!
It's pretty rare as a commentator to get like big praise. It's like it happens sometimes, but it's not that common, especially from somebody in that kind of position. So That was nice.
Alexei Pajitnov told me that he loved my Tetris commentary. I almost melted.
Honestly, yeah, that was about how I felt.
Almost melted.
Yeah.
You know,
I was at a loss for words, which is very
rare. A hero
rare.
of mine that I've known since, I was like 15, 14, 12, whatever I was, told me that he liked my commentary.
Dude, I get it. I know. That's how I felt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was pretty cool. So, good job to the players and to all the other commentators and so forth.
Is that new Guns N' Roses? Did this just come out?
Mac Ross, yeah. And then he's like, so, great commentary, but I heard that interview you gave.
Yeah, I know, right? What did you say about the the music? Yeah. Dude, there was that little comment out there that the guy who did the music to Doom was like hired to do the music, he wasn't hired.
He wanted to do it.
He wanted to do it, and
for
then
Mortal Kombat.
Turned him down.
And they turned him down apparently. Yeah. That was the rumor. Dude, a bunch of us talked about that over the weekend. I feel like obviously the biggest topic of conversation was the cancellation, but after that, until the finals happened, we must have talked about that 5-6 different people.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, can you imagine if that guy could have did that? It totally would have, reversed the mood. Get it?
Wow, that was great. That was really good.
Would have reversed the mood of the game,
I'm actually quite impressed. That was excellent.
I wonder how many people in the chat get that.
Wow. So. That is some good work.
That was a grade A pun
that
right
is
there.
Some good work.
Okay.
So the end of the weekend ended up being good, which was good because the start of the weekend was literally us all saying hello to each other in this way. Man. How are you? How are you? Like, nobody had words. There was no words to say for like the first probably 3 hours. I went on a walk in Lincoln Park in 35-degree weather to try to just settle down.
Yeah.
It half worked.
Okay.
Anyway, it was a great finals in the end. And anything else to say before we get to that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, just to summarize, I guess my thoughts on the whole thing is I really just hope that, the NRS community, I mean, it's been obviously a rough couple of first few months for them this year. I hope that they can really, continue going and everything like that. Spawn's coming out. There's going to be the Kombat cast tomorrow. Right. He looks really cool. So, hopefully that can breathe a little new life into the game and then, the community, and they can still keep going strong for the rest of the year.
I hope so, too.
Okay.
It's Lincoln Park, nerds.
It's Lincoln.
Yeah. Isn't also Lincoln Park from here?
I'm not even sure.
I believe I knew the guitarist in college.
Oh, really?
Or no, maybe it was his brother. I think it was his brother.
I know how to spell Lincoln. Sort of my favorite lines from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Where he's like, what's your name? Abraham Lincoln. That's Lincoln. He's like, I know how to spell Lincoln. I don't know why that line makes me laugh.
Did I meet Keith David? I did not.
Yeah, they wouldn't be putting out a Kombat Pack 2 trailer, to be honest with you. I feel like that would have kind of cut into the Spawn announcement. Right? You don't want to reveal that, like, here's Spawn, here's more characters in Spawn. You know what I mean? Like,
fair enough.
I would wait a little bit for that. Maybe they'll reveal it at Evo. Oh.
Dang. Okay. All right.
Man.
Yeah, we'll see. As far as other announcements, I guess we'll have to wait to see. Hopefully there's stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Spawn comes out on, I believe, March 17th.
Yeah.
Which is next week.
I mean, God, unfortunately, like, I will say that I was in the chat, and it was just, where's Spawn, where's Spawn, where's Spawn, where's Spawn, where's Spawn. It had like 35,000 viewers. The Spawn trailer came out, and then 10,000 viewers disappeared.
That's to be expected, I think. Yeah.
I was just like, that's crazy to me how much so many people were just there to I mean, were they just the Spawn fans there? Or?
Yeah, they're just casual Mortal Kombat fans, yeah.
It's crazy.
NK has giant casual fan base.
Yeah. Yeah.
Converting that into the tournament fan base has always been the trouble, but huge casual fans, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
Well, we're talking about Spawn, I guess. So
like, Spawn is, like, not even... like, he doesn't done anything recent, I guess. I guess I never caught into the Spawn hype. I didn't realize Spawn was that big of a deal.
Really? He was huge.
Yeah, I guess.
But he's definitely from, like, my era. Yeah. I think you might have even been, like, maybe a little bit older than the Spawn Kids era.
Probably. Okay.
But if you were, I certainly was, I thought he was rad at the time.
Okay.
He was, like, totally sick and
obviously
tubular.
Maybe that's just the whole thing is that, he is a little bit kind of an edgy character, and I'm not a fan of, like, edgy characters.
Right, yeah.
That it might be just be a personal taste thing for me.
Yeah, it definitely might be.
Right, so there you go.
But I also think that if you weren't the right age, then there's an age where, like, a lot of kids go through that phase, and then they kind of get out of it, including me. And I was definitely at that age of, like, a little angsty. I was like, whoa, cool, all right.
Those are the people that like Raphael, right?
I'd never liked him, though.
Yeah.
I was definitely a Don guy even then. But he has been one of the most requested characters in Mortal Kombat throughout the entire time. And Ed Boon said that they've always wanted to do it, but that
that's right.
It just didn't work out.
He was in the Xbox version of Tekken, wasn't he? Soul Calibur.
I believe he was in Calibur.
He showed up in a Soul Calibur version as well. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Ed said that they've wanted to do him forever, and I wonder. I haven't talked about this with anybody, but I wonder if it's now they think they can because their animation's better. I wondered that. They just didn't think it would work earlier. I
have no idea though. If we talk about the trailer,
let's talk about the trailer.
Like Spawn, he looks really, really cool.
I thought he looked cool too. Yeah.
Again, for me, I guess I'm, when you look at something like Marvel 3 and how crazy the characters are, that's kind of how you would like to see comic book characters represented. However, I feel like if Spawn was done that way, he would be kind of out of place because the game is more about kind of the realism. And so, keep bearing that in mind, I actually thought they did Spawn really, really well. He looks really sick.
I agree with you, yeah.
And I hadn't seen a lot of Joker yet
okay.
Until the final combat, and I gotta say, Joker looks really good.
He really does look good.
He really looks good.
Yeah. I think so far, I think he might be my favorite looking character in the game, just the way his animations are and his like little flares and flourishes. Yeah. Spawn looks good, I would say. I think, there's still... The walking animations are still, like, a little funky.
Yeah.
But a lot of the other stuff looked great and very interesting. And he's very weighty. Like, he puts weight into things, I felt, which has sometimes been a problem for them.
Yes, yeah.
So, I was happy with it.
Yeah, also, just, like... Unfortunately, we'll probably find out tomorrow on the Combat Cast, but we don't know what his tournament variations are. So we saw a lot of crazy things, like he had 12s float, like he's like flying. He's like 12. He had reptiles invisibility.
He had 12's invisibility.
Oh, did they just turn Spawn into 12? I didn't even think about that.
He has 12.
I forgot 12.
Stand roundhouse and axe, not axe, needle.
Does he really? The stand roundhouse thing?
The chains. Not really, obviously.
Okay.
I just want 12 back. Yeah, we'll find out more about him tomorrow.
Yeah, so we're going to find out a lot more. But like I said, he looks really cool. Obviously the fatalities and the fatal blows. They're violent as usual.
They are.
But overall, and again, it is super cool that they got the original voice actor to do the voice for him from his most popular incarnation. Sounds like so.
Yeah, the one thing I wasn't that big a fan of is when he pulls out guns and walks, he just walks, and I don't know.
Oh, the thing where it's like
he just
the
like
legs
pulls out guns
move.
and he goes.
The legs just kind of move. And
and his upper body and the guns are just like.
Yeah. It's weird. NRS has never been the best at walking or dashing animations because, there was one match that was between Shang Tsung and Sonya, and Shang Tsung walked forward and Sonya dashed forward, and I was just like...
Her little wave dash, she goes...
Yeah, her legs just gonna go...
Yeah. Did you see Garrus, when Tweety played? Did you see him do a wave dash? Garrus is hilarious looking.
Oh, yeah.
It's so stupid looking, yeah.
I maybe didn't notice. Okay.
All right. Well...
Spawn is gothic Deadpool. That's actually a really funny way to put it.
Okay, yeah.
I can kind of see that.
Even in the audience, which of course was very small, like I said, a lot of people got hype, and that was nice. It's cool to think about what it could have been with Ed Boon and the voice actor and Josh Gray up there, and then the trailer comes like
the big audience. There.
It's cool to think about what that could have been like, but unfortunate, didn't work out like that.
Okay.
All right.
And then, before we get to the results, I guess we might as well just talk about the other announcement that was there too, which was the animated.
Oh, you're right.
The Scorpion's Revenge. I was actually surprised. So, they said that, I guess some people had heard that was going to be the second announcement because Joshua Gray was like, we're going to have a second announcement, and someone said they already said it's going to be the animation.
Oh.
I didn't know. I had only heard rumors about something like that being made. So in my mind, I was totally picturing like a CG kind of thing, like very realistic looking. And when it came out, I was actually like, duh, of course, it's the Warner Brothers Animation Studio.
Right,
it's like, it looks exactly like all the DC cartoons out there. And that was kind of cool, you know, because, they have that distinct style now with the DC animation. So I was like, oh, of course, they're going to use that studio. And it makes a lot of sense. So it seems really interesting. I mean, I'm always, especially because DC has been killing it on a lot of their animated movie stuff. Like their animated movies, their animation department has been really, really strong.
Right.
Not so much their cinematic universe.
I know.
But, their animation has been really strong. So, it's nice to see a studio like that working on an animation for Mortal Kombat and maybe properly respecting the lore and everything. So, I'm obviously, even Ed Boon was like, maybe it was a little too violent.
I know, even Ed Boon said that.
So maybe he wouldn't mind your interview.
Maybe,
actually, he probably wouldn't. David, I agree with your interview, But it looks pretty cool. I mean, I'll definitely try to catch it if I can, if it's not like on streaming DC only or something like that. So we'll find out how it works.
I heard from a few people who said that they had a chance to review it, that it was really good. And not just like the violence and stuff, that it had like a compelling story and it was like well done.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So check it out.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, the event itself. So, winner, Sonic Fox. The Joker. Only the Joker. Yeah, and he's now won 2 games in a row with the Joker, even though they're different games.
And when they won with Joker last year, it was just Fox being a dick, basically.
Yeah. But this time Joker's legit.
This time Joker's really good. Yeah,
so it was good.
Yeah,
character.
like you could win a major even if you're not Sonic
I
Fox.
was watching the character, like when Joker grabs, like the people off the wheelchair and like swings it, like that can't be punished, and that thing hits like half a screen. And
there's a version that he has 2 ends to that chain, and one launches the dude almost full screen, so you can like throw somebody for almost full screen.
He looks really
He's
good.
really good. Great footsies,
really,
great
really
damage,
good.
mix-ups are there, movements there. It's a lot of really good stuff.
But I mean, we sit here and talk about Sonic Fox, how they got first place, and it's like, it was a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
They got knocked into losers by Ninja Killer.
Definitely.
Ninja Killer earlier. Was it Killer or Killer?
CGL Ninja Killer 212.
And NK definitely knocked him into the losers bracket in winners finals.
Yeah.
Knocked them into the losers bracket. So good job to Ninja Killer. And I mean, he played amazing during the tournament.
Yeah, Liu Kang and Johnny. This might be one of the strongest first years that I can recall anybody having in fighting games, because he's only been playing. His first offline event was like 1 year ago, ever, and he won that event.
He's gonna win a poll for most successful veteran of the year. Then
veteran of the year, yeah. And he's still, I think he's 17 or something like that, 17 or 18.
Dude, he had some crazy punishes and some crazy whiff punishes and reactions.
Definitely, yeah, incredible player. Just, I mean, he clearly does a lot of homework. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. But there's also just some talent in there.
Yeah.
Some level of talent in there. And I remember when Sonic Fox said that they played against Ninja Killer's brother in, what was it, Dragon Ball? Like his younger brother.
Oh,
And Fox played against him in Dragon Ball, and Fox was like, even his younger brother is sick at this. He's like a little kid, and he's like,
they
ridiculous.
would know more than anyone else, considering that Quiggle kind of, trained them.
That's exactly what I think it's like,
Yeah, so funny. Sonic Fox is probably seeing a Ninja Killer and Ninja Killer's little brother, very similar to what, they see in themselves and their older brother.
But I believe Ninja Killer has an older brother, too. I heard he has an older brother who is sick at Tekken. That was the rumor.
Really? Okay. We've got a whole fighting game family
that's
here.
What I heard. I don't have any way to
Let's do
substantiate that one. Anyway, Ninja Killer played extremely, extremely well. They're the 2 best players for sure.
Okay.
Then BC Dragon got 3rd with Cetrion, and he's the 3rd best player. I don't know that I've ever seen a finals like this end up being first points overall gets first place, second points, third points like that. Like, has that ever happened?
Not that I know.
I don't think so.
I mean, there's almost every event you go to is upset city everywhere. I mean, what do you think about that? Do you feel like that just means that those three are clearly that much better than everyone else? Do you feel like the pool of talent isn't big enough? Maybe there needs to be more stronger players for more of the crazy upsets? Or, what is your assessment on it? Because obviously you see something like Street Fighter V and you can't predict the top 8 of Street Fighter V, to save your life because people are just falling all over the place. Now, that's going to be due to breadth of talent. That's also going to be due to the nature of the game and, so on and so forth. So, what's your assessment on why MK11 is so dang consistent?
I would say it's the size of the field. Yeah. Mm-hmm. In Street Fighter, I don't think the Street Fighter is more or less random than MK. In fact, there's a lot of MK players who think that it's super random. But whatever. People say that about every game, don't they?
Yeah. Well, if you can't win it, then you call it random.
Correct. Absolutely
that's pretty much the way it works.
I really think that's true. So, no, I think it's more about the fact that Street Fighter has so many strong players.
Yeah.
And MK has more than it ever has. But, like, Sonic Fox, they won Dragon Ball Fighters at Evo, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, they're second consistently. Sonic Fox can win in any game, and I think Ninja Killer probably could too, just looking at the talent of the player. Mm-hmm. And then I think Dragon is like right on the cusp of that as well. And I'm not sure I think that about anybody else, that they could win like any tournament.
Because when Soul Calibur 6 first came out, both Sonic Fox and Dragon were doing damage early on.
Oh, yeah.
I think they just stopped playing.
They did. Yeah.
So they just stopped playing. But clearly they could have gotten very strong in other games as well.
I'm not sure that Soul Calibur is the example of another strong scene that to be frank. Right?
Oh, yeah, but I'm just saying, obviously, they're good enough to...
Oh, yeah, I really think so.
To learn other games, to be at that competitive level.
Definitely.
And again, I really feel like, with Ninja Killer and Dragon... those two players especially are just like hyper focused into this game as well, because I don't think they distract themselves with any other fighting games at all. They don't. So I mean, it's kind of similar to Dragon Ball Fighters, where players like it feels like Kazunoko put most of his concentration into that, and Goichi put most of his time into that. So.
Yeah, and I think many of the other players on this list are very close to being at that level. So many of these people are so young. So, all right, Deoxys got 4th with Jackie and Raiden. Kombat got 5th with Johnny and Geras. Rewind got 5th with Jackie and Johnny. Tweety got 7th with Geras and Baraka. And then Foxy Grandpa got 7th with Shang, Kung Lao, and Nightwolf. Foxy Grandpa, I think, is 28. Everybody else on that list is like 20 or younger, or maybe 22 or younger.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it might be 22 or younger. And some of them are in high school, literally. So the level of talent is going up.
How many of them are not legally allowed to buy the game?
Yeah, at least a couple. Yeah.
And shoutouts also, by the way, to Shoegazer Jimmy, who's almost subscribed for 4 years now.
Incredible. Thank you. Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, that's only been half the time. That's less than half the time we've been on the air. Jesus.
I'm not sure it was tracked like that before.
Yeah, I know. Oh, man.
So, look, there's a ton of up-and-coming talent in NRS games, and it's going to be... It's always been on the up and up, and I think it's definitely still happening like that.
Yeah. I mean, back in MK9, when people were like, oh, the players who play NRS would get destroyed if any Street Fighter player jumped in there. I mean, that was true back then. We saw it in the very first tournament.
I basically think that is true, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, back in MK9, but now in MK11, I don't think that's as true. So.
No, it could not happen anymore. Yeah. You'd have to take it seriously, for sure. Mm-hmm. Like, even somebody like Punk, who rules Street Fighter for a while, he got top 16 at some majors in Injustice 2? Was that early MK11? Anyway, and he didn't win, right? So he's like talented enough that he can like become a pretty good player.
If it was MK9, he would have placed top 3 in that tournament, that Justin won and Flo got 2nd and L.I. Joe got 3rd and Mark Man got 4th, To
be fair, that was pretty much before there even was an NRS
Yeah,
scene.
I know.
But
it's not fair.
It never happened again that like PR Balrog could half-ass his way into the top 8 of Injustice 1.
At Evo.
Yeah, never, for sure.
I mean, it's not that PR Rog would half-ass his way into anything. He was clearly good and he enjoyed the game and he's super talented, but he still had his time split between multiple games. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, the scene is in a good spot and it's definitely growing.
And people don't even realize. I mean, you can joke about Eris, getting top 8, but Eris was a strong player back in the day.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Totally.
It's always interesting. It's like when people don't realize how good guys like Combo Fiend and Eris.
Well, Combo Fiend was in particular true. 9th were Hayate, Tekken Master, Scar, and Dizzy. 13th were Stabs, Samij, Nivik, and Conqueror.
I'll tell you this right now. I think it was the Rewind versus Foxy Grandpa match that was the hardest for me to watch.
Oh, yeah.
I just didn't want any of them to lose. I wanted them both to win so badly. Oh, man. This is a super old school Triumvir Ken shirt that I've never worn before until now. So it's
cool.
From the ST art. It's the ST sketch art that I love so much.
It's great.
And some of my favorite Street Fighter art of all time is the Super Turbo sketch art that they did. Some of my favorite.
How old is Tekken Master? Also young. Early to mid-20s, something like that.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's very young. The oldest people in this are Scar and Nivik, who are 30 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. I didn't even know that they were 30. Okay. Interesting.
Everybody else is a kid. Dizzy's a teenager. Basically everybody.
I mean, you said Kombat was 16.
Kombat 16.
He's not even legally allowed to purchase the game, so, that's the way it works.
Anyway, it was a really, really good top 16.
Foxy Grandpa says he's 28.
I said you're 28.
Okay, there you go.
Because you said that. Oh, wait, who did you say turned 25 today?
I will definitely say again, Foxy Grandpa, now that
Tekken Master
you
turned
are in the
25.
chat,
Okay, cool.
I am actually really sad that you... God, I was rooting for you, so anyway.
Yeah, Tekken Master's 25 today. Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, the scene's headed for a really good spot.
Yeah.
Very happy about that.
Yeah. So
I'm glad
to see that the event went so well. The matches were so hyped that it kind of really surged the energy kind of back into, the scene and the community.
Yeah, I definitely hope that lasts.
Yeah.
We'll be at Worlds Collide tonight, playing the local in San Fernando Valley in Los Angeles.
Yeah, no Street Fighter tonight, though.
Only Mortal Kombat tonight.
Just only Mortal Kombat tonight. Okay.
I meant to get so many games in with people in MK because I was thinking I'll be at the LCQ and there's going to be casuals there. We'll get hours of games in, and then obviously that didn't happen. And instead I went to go hang out with Callisto and D at their house.
Oh, cool.
And Casmer took me, and Heroic Legacy was there.
Oh, because you got to meet up with a bunch of friends then.
Yeah. So a bunch of us hung out and
funny,
played other games.
I was bothering Callisto all of Sunday, and you were hanging out with him on Saturday.
I was,
so
and Friday night.
He had to deal with Ultra Chen all weekend.
That's right, yeah.
So there you
on
go.
Friday night, Casmer took me to Ignite, where they were having a local as well, and there was Mortal and everything but Street Fighter. No, there was Street Fighter. Tekken and Dragon Ball, all sorts of stuff. So they have a bunch of really good locals in the Chicago area. It's great.
Yeah.
They really do.
For sure. I mean, obviously, Chicago's always considered the third largest city in the country, right? The third mecca. So, wouldn't be surprised if.
Yeah, no, they got a lot of stuff going on
there.
Well, for a while, I think that wasn't true, but they definitely do have stuff going now.
Okay.
All right.
And again, OG Geek, you say that, but I'm older than Vi.
Oh yeah, baby Vi.
Yeah, I know. I still remember when Vi showed up into the scene.
Dude, Callisto made food for all of us. For 11 people, I think, were there, and he made fried rice and mushroom risotto and some kind of steak and
what
was it, tomato bisque soup? I think all of those. And he was pretty wasted for a while making that stuff. And he was we'd have a conversation in his
palate, when you're tasting your food.
It does, I can confirm, but it was really good anyway. And he was making it in his kitchen, right? And he's got his knife out and he's slicing the steak, and he's just
don't even talk about that.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Back when I did the thing before.
It's enough of this. I don't want to think about this anymore.
Around.
I don't want to think about this. I hate sharp objects, so. Yeah.
And he got blood on the floor. Cow blood steak, which he made sure to point out once it is cooked, is no longer blood but juice. So he got steak juice on the floor.
Oh, I'm older than.
But he's got a cat.
I'm older than Viscant.
The cat came over and
sure.
licked it up a little bit.
How does anyone think that Viscant is older than me? I'm telling you right now, the only people that are credibly older than me in the scene that you will still hear about are people like Jason Cole, Tom and Tony Cannon, Seth Killian, and, you know, I can't even think of anybody else at this point. I know there's some people who are the same age as me, like John Choi is the same age as me. Mike Watson's, I think, is 1 year younger than me or the same age as me, but yeah. Oh, Gerald, the guy who runs Okamoto Kitchen is definitely older than I am, but, I mean, he's mostly in the food truck business now, so.
Tom Brady is younger.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if I was older than Ono, to be honest.
That wouldn't be too surprising.
I wouldn't be surprised if I was old. I don't even know how old Ono is.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Rip is not that old.
Yeah, Rip is actually super young.
Well, I don't know about that. I think he and I are the same age.
Yeah, you're both super young.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. Thank you. All right. Anything else about this one?
No, I think that's all I've got.
Okay. Well, in that case, you want to chat about these cancellations?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And look how fast I can change the topic without looking at the screen now.
Genius.
It's so good.
Genius.
It's so good. Oh, man. Am I older than Ryan Hart? That is a great question.
That is a good question.
I don't know about that one. I'm not sure about that one, so... Shoegazer Jimmy says that he's 46. Really? Okay.
Really?
Okay, I didn't know.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, he looks much younger.
I would have said much younger for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so let's talk about these cancellations.
Yeah,
NorCal
a lot of
Regionals.
people are talking about upcoming cancellations potentially in the chat here.
NorCal Regionals was canceled. There's a rule in Santa Clara County that they interpreted to mean that NCR needs to close down.
Yeah, the Santa Clara just announced this.
Announced it.
Anything that's going to be an event with this many people has to be shut down. Yeah. That's where NCR takes place. So although they had originally intended to keep it going, they didn't have immediate plans to cancel it, but because of that, they have to cancel it now.
Is there a CPT update right now?
Someone just put out this link right here.
Okay.
This was just posted today.
Okay, so we know that some are canceled. We've known this before.
Right. So
Brussels Challenge,
NorCal Regionals, April Annihilation, and Taipei Major are now out of the Capcom Pro Tour, which we knew about those.
We knew about.
Postponed are Fighters Spirit and the Mix-Up in France, and that's all they have that's said. So that's not really a lot of new information.
The Tekken and Soul Calibur World Tours pulled out of, NCR was, before it was canceled, now it's gone anyway, pulled out of Final Round and the Mix-Up, which is then postponed. And Arxis says that they won't be at Final Round.
So it'll still be a part of the Arxis World Tour. It's still going to be a gold event there, but originally they were going to be there to have stations for Guilty Gear Strive so you could play it over there, and they were going to do another trailer.
Right.
Just like they were going to do a trailer at Brussels Challenge. Now,
the same weekend.
Yeah, they're not going to be at either of them, so both of those trailers now are going to be revealed on their YouTube channel. It's on the 21st, I believe it is. I wrote the date down there somewhere, I think.
Yeah, 2 trailers for Final Round and Brussels Challenge will be revealed on March 21st.
Yeah,
on their
YouTube channel. It's just show up on their YouTube channel, so there you go.
Yep. And, other bigger stuff was also canceled. Was it Coachella that was this week, or did we already talk about that one?
I don't remember. I don't remember talking about Coachella.
Okay, there you go. People are still saying that E3 will get canceled.
Apparently, what was
South
happening...
by Southwest is what it was.
Yeah, South by Southwest
That's
is canceled. People are saying that developers are tweeting out cancel your tickets to E3 or something like that. Right. So apparently, E3 might be next.
So those are huge. South by Southwest is hundreds of thousands of people. Coachella is gigantic as well. Those are... I heard estimated, I think, 8,000 or 9,000 jobs involved in South by Southwest. That won't be there anymore. Huge buff to the local economy, and that's just not going to happen. So those are Those are giant things. But, of course, in the FGC, we're smaller, but it's happening for us as well.
Yeah, but it's definitely, we talked about it last week that, we can't even be frustrated. But I mean, we can be frustrated. We can't be angry or we can't blame anybody. This is obviously, for everybody's safety and probably a better thing to do. So, it's what we got to do. We got to do what we got to do.
We do, and that might be to find other work for a while.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest parts too.
It really might be for those of us who make our money in fighting games or esports, which I do both through law and commentary. You do through commentary.
Streaming.
Yeah. Streaming I think is okay, but going to events for commentary.
Yeah, of course.
Is a different story.
But, I mean, the hardest thing right now is just, obviously, I've already not been making enough to survive in the year, and if I lose all these gigs, that's going to be even worse now.
Definitely.
Although maybe we should buy all of our CPT tickets now while the flight prices are...
Yeah, it might be true, Crescent, that streaming will become more popular with fewer things going on. That might be true. We'll see if that kind of impact occurs.
Yeah.
More people are quarantined, the entire country of Italy is on lockdown now.
Yeah, Italy seems to be having problems. Although the good side of things, China reported that was 30,000 people who had COVID-19 are fine now. So, there is a lot of people surviving, and it seems like it really is hitting most of the older. The fatalities have all been skewed towards the older side, so
sure.
So I need to be worried. You guys are fine. You guys are
7 years
fine.
makes a big difference.
Yeah, it's a whole nother decade.
Well,
here,
that's true. Yeah, I'm not sure the virus knows that though. Yeah, China at one point had, I read, 760 million people quarantined, which is 10% of humans.
On the planet right now?
Yeah.
Dang, really?
10% of all humans.
Jeez. Okay.
So there's going to be more canceled for sure. We mentioned that E3 seems likely to be canceled. I don't know when they'll stop. I mean, that's in June.
Yeah, I mean a lot of.
So if even things in June will be canceled, there's a lot of stuff that was supposed to occur between now and June. Yeah. And if June's being canceled, why not July?
Combo Breaker, CEO, Evo, all the big stuff have a potential to be canceled. So. Yeah, canceling the Olympics.
Right.
Again, the most recent word on Evo was that they're just monitoring the situation very carefully. They don't intend to cancel it right now, but obviously they have to keep an eye out on it, and if anything happens, they will. So.
Yeah, a lot of people's livelihoods will be hurt by other people not getting entertainment.
I mean,
entertainment's pretty significant as an industry.
Last week we had someone in our chat say that they got let go because they work for a travel agency. Right. I went to a Chinese restaurant after I got my taxes done last week, and because I was coming home and it was on the way, San Gabriel, area,
for sure.
So I stopped by a Chinese restaurant. It's one that I've been going to for 30 years or something like that, and I was talking to the waiter there, who was the grandson of the original owner, and we're just sitting there talking, and he just said business is just completely dropped as soon as that happened. And I was like, well, I'm still coming, and I'm just, because I didn't want to miss this opportunity. He was like, thank you so much.
Yeah.
He was really happy and everything.
What's wild is that I took out from a Japanese place that we've been taking out from for ever since we moved to Hollywood, which is a few years now at this point. Never seen it emptier at that time. Yeah. Japanese. Chinese is the bad stereotype, right?
Yeah,
the knock-on effect of being Asian.
Nobody,
right?
And nobody,
it's
all
horrible.
the races out there that can't tell the difference, man. I'm telling you.
It's ridiculous.
And then plus another thing too, I mean, what was interesting though, I was talking to my brother, who's very much into movies and everything. He said that the box offices were still pretty strong this weekend.
Oh, really?
So that didn't seem to get affected, weirdly enough, that people were still going to the theaters to watch movies. So
weird.
Yeah, but it's honestly, it's just like Reckless says, it's not just Asian restaurants, it's just everything, right? People are just, I mean, I went into a Ralph's today to buy some distilled water, and there was no water. Distilled water. Not drinking water, distilled water wasn't even available. And I was like, what the heck? What?
People are stocking up.
Upset about that.
Well, Yeah, that's right. Paco Stevens, March Madness games with no crowd. That's pretty wild sounding. A bunch of sporting events are going to be without crowds. Some are canceled outright. Yeah, event planning is something that's a big deal that's losing for sure. I hope things get better for you, Atomic Number.
2 days before moving, jeez.
Yeah, that's wild. And there's big knock-on effects of that. Of course, yesterday the stock market had a real tough time.
Of course, yeah.
That's going to continue. I mean, we're headed not for a great place, everybody.
But you know what? Our president said that don't have to panic, that it's just going to go away.
Well, at least this president has the ability to form words in a way that create a coherent sentence. I'm not sure about the next one. I'm not sure.
Oh, man.
It's not looking fantastic right now, everybody.
But we know the state of, leg hair, so that's okay. It's okay. It's all good.
I don't know what else to say about this. The cancellations suck. They're understandable.
We talked a lot about it last week. It's just more
unfortunate, understandable. Just, I guess the last thing I would say about it is try not to be too pissed at the people who either have to make these decisions, like legally or required to in some cases, or are making the decisions because they would lose a tremendous amount of money if they were to keep going through with it. Or in some cases, it wasn't their call entirely. Like, don't blame NRS, for example, for last weekend's cancellation for Final Kombat. Just to have a little bit more patience with everybody. It's a hard time for everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Well, want to take a break?
Yeah.
Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll get to some 5-5 matchup content. Go back to talking about fighting games. And
cool.
Stuff, so, all right, be right back, guys.
Yeah, I saw the clip of Biden arguing with the plant worker.
Yeah. Did you see the clip of someone calling him out on it?
I did.
Okay.
It's not looking great, and he's dominating tonight, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, cats are hopefully enjoying themselves still. A lot of it is the risk of media backlash is what Atomic Number thinks as far as cancellations go. Of course.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean,
there's a lot of factors to it.
Yeah, naturally, right? Like, it's not just that you're worried about people contracting stuff at your event, which would just be bad. I mean, you don't want to be the cause of people getting the disease, of course. But on top of that, there's the extra liability of legal problems coming from that. There's the extra liability of just how bad it looks. And it's bad not just for your individual industry, but think about how this affects everybody else. Say that the last chance qualifier had happened, and there's somebody there who it turns out had coronavirus, and they spread it to 100 people. And then word gets out that there was a fighting game event that had basically been the ground zero of a new outbreak.
Right.
The press from that for the FGC as a whole is terrible. Would be catastrophic. And other events, even if there weren't to be problems, would feel the effects of that for a long time.
Yeah. Like I said, I keep talking to my friends about this, but one of my friends on Facebook has been talking about how she believes that she kind of almost really does believe in the theory that we're all in a simulation right now.
Okay.
And I mean, I just feel like that if we are in a simulation, it would make more sense because whoever's running the simulation is like, let's try just throwing this loop in and see what happens. I can't believe people are actually doing what? Like, hey, look, let's make the planet start falling apart. Let's see if people will change their mind if that will defeat money. And like, nope, they're probably like, what is happening? Like, why is none of this actually, like, what kind of weird world have we accidentally generated here?
Unfortunately, it's really consistent with how previous generations have made their own decisions.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything unusual about it.
Yeah.
It's just that the stakes are super high.
Yeah. Yeah, I know how you feel, Jasmine.
What do Americans do if they need to be in the hospital? That bill would be massive. Yes. So you have two alternatives in that case. One is that you die. And then the other one is that you take on such incredible debt that your family is basically stuck paying it off for the next few decades.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's horrible. Or I guess the third one is that you bankrupt yourself. You file for bankruptcy. And of course, the leading cause of bankruptcy in the US is medical bills.
Ugh. I mean, the worst thing about it is I actually signed up for healthcare this year, unlike last year. And the healthcare I signed up for doesn't cover a damn thing that I'm trying to use it for.
Yeah.
It's a freaking PPO. And I can't even use it for outside network doctors. It's labeled a PPO.
It's
like,
incredible.
that's why I got it.
I hear you. Yeah, it's a bad situation.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're done. We're ready here. What do we got next?
We're gonna talk about content, basically.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay, we'll be right back. I can't move the volume because Jasmine is pressing on my hand.
Is it on?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay, good job, Jasmine. So, let's move on to the next topic up here, and we're going to begin addressing the idea of content in the FGC.
Yes, and this was kind of spurred by a couple of tweets from Brian F.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with the first tweet that he wrote out. This was on March 8th. And he wrote in a tweet, "Who are the best YouTubers who actively produce Street Fighter related content? I feel as though the FGC is leagues behind other scenes of the YouTube game. But even within the FGC, I think Street Fighter is the furthest behind." And so what ended up happening is a lot of people kind of started using this as a platform to jump onto there, including myself. Like, hey, look at this stuff that I've been producing.
Yeah,
here's all this content and everything. So everybody was kind of plugging themselves in this tweet. However, then Brian F. later today then tweeted out, "From this discussion, I think FGC pigeonholed content to be competitive matches or educational content," which is where a lot of the stuff that I was doing comes into play. And he's like, "Meme style videos, comedy, skits, weird facts, artistic pieces, history, etc. are undeveloped mediums that don't require you to be a high-level player."
Mm-hmm.
So basically, he's saying that we need more crazy content, even, not necessarily productive content. And, some people were linking examples of some of these MK11 videos. I forgot by who it was, but, like, some guy was blending the, God, what's his name? The guy from the Old Spice commercials who's in Brooklyn 911, Terry Crews, with Jax, and like I was watching these videos, like super meme video and stuff, and I'll admit it, I couldn't make it through the whole thing, so I'll admit it. So, but what's your opinion on this tweet from Brian?
I think that in the FGC we do consider it about who is competitive. Right? We all self-select as that. And that's a primary definition of who's in the FGC, don't you think? Mm-hmm. Is people who are either playing or interested in watching people play fighting games competitively. When somebody talks about when they joined the FGC, what they mean is not the first time they played a fighting game. Mm-hmm. Right? They mean, when did you start playing in tournaments? When did you start watching tournaments? Whatever. Stuff like that. The competitive aspect of it is what we mean. It's already been the case that there are big fighting game related channels. FGC is maybe not what you would say under that definition, but there are and have been very popular fighting game related channels. Mortal Kombat's got a bunch. I feel like I find out about a new Mortal Kombat channel on YouTube that has 100,000 subscribers like every other month. Like there's honestly there's a lot of them. And it's the same way with Street Fighter. There's channels that are huge. What was Imezi's channel? It was like 1 million people he's got.
Yeah.
It's not competitive FGC stuff. It's fighting game stuff. It's related. So that exists. But I think in the FGC, we are surprised. Like, I'm surprised whenever I run into these huge channels. I didn't know about them. And so that stuff is out there, and I would love to see there be like a closer sort of partnership, a closer relationship. I'd love it if some of those people who did those things would help drive people to the competitive side of the FGC. They're not under any obligation to, but anyway, a lot of that stuff actually does exist already.
Yeah, and I also think it's a matter of taste, right? It's a matter of what you want to see. Like I said, whenever I watch any of those kind of crazy meme videos, like I said, I can't make it through those sometimes, because to me, there's nothing there, and it's hard for me to see those. Now, if it's something that's, well-crafted humor and silly and everything like that, I'm not saying it can't be silly or anything like that, but to me, it has to have some sort of some kind of substance to it, you know what I mean? So
when you hang out with your nephews, do they ever watch YouTube videos when you're around?
My brother tells me all about the YouTube videos that they watch, and they just watch constant Minecraft stuff, and he's just like, I don't get it. None of this makes any sense.
When I was hanging out with my nephews in North Carolina, that's exactly what my nephew was watching. He watched some Minecraft stuff, and it was just somebody speaking in a high-pitched voice, kind of pretending that they were one of the characters or whatever, and I just didn't get it at all. Yeah. He thought it was the best.
Of course.
He was cracking up at it. So I'm not sure that exists in fighting games. Maybe it does, and I just haven't run across it yet. Because, again, there's just a big disconnect between the competitive side of things and the non-competitive side. I don't know. I would like to know.
But, I mean, again, that's just my taste. For someone like Brian, it seems like that's kind of something that he would like to look for. Just people making videos that just spread more awareness to the genre, overall. Yeah. And, again, I don't feel like those kind of fans convert over into the FGC.
Yeah.
Zykes, a.k.a. Emezi, Emezier, does all the, was it Emezi or Emezier? I think it was Emezier. I can't remember now.
Well, that's how it's spelled, but I'm not sure the pronunciation.
Yeah, but he puts a lot of fighting game stuff on his videos and his animations, and I don't think that's translating over to, people watching the FGC stuff. I don't know how to do that, and I don't even know if that's necessarily the case. And Sajam was talking a bunch in there too, and he was just saying, he was like, sometimes it's just hard to make good content because, he showed an example on his channel. He's like, match analysis was 3K views, and then he was like, someone TP'd my house, 13K views.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And it's, I'm actually kind of, sad a little bit that I've been doing all these first attack videos and they're not getting a lot of views on YouTube because I'm just like, this is good stuff here, but again, I don't think that's what people are looking for necessarily. But the hard part is, though, that's serving the audience that does care about fighting games. If you make content that does get the views, let's say we make a video that says, you'll never believe what this Hindi master does to himself, right? Does that actually equate to bringing more people into the fighting game community? Or are we just all messing up and we need to figure out a way to combine both? Maybe my educational videos need to be full of memes and stuff like that. But when you do that, that requires a lot more editing and a lot more... Because, someone said, I missed combo videos and they linked Madge's combo video, the Ryu combo video. And I know for a fact that combo video took a year for him to make. Mm-hmm. And the 2-hit combo video took me 2 years to make. Mm-hmm. That's the problem, is the way that the YouTube algorithm, the way that content works these days, it's not about crafting something, unless you're a movie or you're releasing an album. It's more just, for YouTube, you just keep throwing as much stuff out there as possible.
I'm not sure I agree with that. Because the clients that I have and have had over the years who are successful on YouTube, they put a lot of stuff out there, but they also work 14-hour days. Mm-hmm. And it's such a hard job to do that.
Oh, yeah.
They're working an incredible amount, Max pulls incredible hours, right, to do the stuff that he does. That is really hard, and for most people, it's not going to turn into something that is successful. So the success... There's certainly some luck involved.
Oh, yeah.
But you do, if you're going to make your YouTube really big, it's going to take a huge amount of work. Think about, how much work Core A Gaming takes to put a video up. It's once a month.
Right.
Mm-hmm, right? Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of work. Yeah. But if you're going to make a successful YouTube channel, you got to be doing it. And you have to spend a huge amount of hours.
People on my stream know I haven't been getting any sleep. Because that's all I'm doing now is just streaming, editing, uploading, streaming, editing. I'm just on this perpetual cycle. I did the first attack episode yesterday, and I took my 4-hour, 3 to 4 hour stream, and I only edited about an hour and a half of it yesterday. and I still have another hour and a half to go, and that took me like 3-4 hours.
It takes a while, for sure, dude.
You know, it's a tough situation. So like, you know, it's easy to say, hey, we want good content, but the things that you work hard on usually are not the ones that benefit you. You know, the more amount of work you put into it, I feel like the less chance it has to go viral and be successful. It feels like sometimes you see this all the time from people on Twitter. They're like, I worked on this crazy thing and it was like this drawing that like was amazing, and then I made like some goofy drawing of like this person dressed like this, and then all of a sudden it's viral.
Yeah, there's luck involved, of course. Hi-Fi, when you put your references in that one in the videos that you've done, how much time did that take? How much time did those like Seth references and comparisons videos take?
Yeah,
I imagine a long time. But
like that, but compared to the weekly recaps that he was doing, you know, I'm sure those comparison videos get so much more views than the recaps, and I'm sure the recap videos take way more work.
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
Yeah, see, there you go. It depends, but less time than local
that makes sense, but it's
sure.
in the same line as before, where we were talking about the fact that the competitive side of the fighting game community doesn't have the views that the non-competitive side does. That makes sense.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. One of the hardest things about history, too, you know, just to talk about history, is that we just don't have a lot of archival footage of everything. It's really just going to be talking heads, you know, but I guess that's kind of good enough.
I don't think that's true. I mean, we could definitely be making stuff that includes other footage. Because
I have all the footage.
Well, there you go. But even on top of that, I watch so much YouTube history, history on YouTube, and a lot of the times it is somebody just talking, but they're like running stock photos on top of the screen, whatever it is. I mean, I've watched thousands of hours of just people giving lectures. So, I mean, I'm an easy mark for that stuff. But yeah, I mean, we could be doing histories about the old times and just get like stock footage.
Yeah, JM Cross has been putting out a lot of good videos in there.
Yeah,
and
true.
Someone actually showed me one of them. He did the Duck and Sanford money match, right? And the majority of the footage in there is from me.
There it is. It's something you can be doing.
From a video that I edited together and put out on Tony Cannon put it on his YouTube, and that whole video was my edited video that's on there. I even went over that video on my channel one time and showed everybody how I crafted it and like edited it in a way like he doesn't actually say this here, and I put this dialogue over here. I inserted this footage of Duck standing up just to not create a disjoint from him sitting to standing, and Luke, I did all like that's the problem. It's like whenever I want to edit these kind of things, I get into that kind of mode where I still remember when we did the Dogface show season, the first episode, which was Mike Ross and Gutex. Like we released an episode every week.
Yeah.
And they were 10-minute episodes, and they took me the entire week to do. Now I had the day job, and so I would go home, and so I just was there to do it. But I was the kind of person that would make sure it flowed. I changed the camera view constantly, so it didn't feel like you were staring at someone for too long because it makes you kind of uncomfortable. And I edit out some questions and put other questions in there. But when I changed the camera view, I had to make sure Dogface's hand didn't teleport from here to down here. I did all these things like that, and then I was like, I can't do this anymore. So we got someone else to edit the next season, and me be the consultant. And I think I drove that person mad. And I even have like a confirmation from other people that were like roommates with them at the time, and they were like, I love James Chin, but seriously, fuck this guy.
That's hilarious.
Because I was like, you're not changing the camera view enough. This is lasting too long. You're just letting him talk too long. Change to the wide view. Do this. You can see this guy's arm move from here to over here. There's a weird cut in the audio. You got to make sure you do the bleed and blend. And, that's the kind of editor I am, which is why it's hard for me to produce content like that, because like I said, the 2-hit combo video took me 2 years to make, just because of how anal retentive I am with combo videos. I used to give Magnetro advice on combo videos all the time, and I used to be like, dude, there's like this little artifact down here, you gotta fix this, you gotta do this, and all this stuff like that, and I was like super crazy. Yes, it took me 2 years, and Wizard said, if you finish it, I will show it at Evo. I took a week off from work to make sure I can finish it. That combo video took me 2 years to make. It's not easy to make content like that.
Yeah.
It is not easy to make content. Oh, man. Yeah. Dogface, he works at a restaurant in Vegas. A lot of the Vegas guys go there all the time and just to say hi, and Dogface always comes out and says hi to them and stuff. So.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, right? Yeah, see, Max went through these changes, process, and details in his decade in review. Yeah, I mean, you just have to stop doing that kind of thing, you know what I mean? And I'm doing it even right now with my editing that I'm doing to the videos the stream I did yesterday. You know, when I talk and I cut something out and I blend it in there, I hate it when my voice goes from one tone to the other because it sounds so disruptive.
Right.
And it's I'm so OCD when it comes to these kind of things. And when I started making those little those little 2-minute video definition, the fighting game dictionary episodes, those took me like 2 or 3 weeks to do, and they're like a minute and a half videos. Like, I just couldn't produce them fast enough because I was so picky about the way that it works. I just don't know how it works. I don't know what the secret is to make good content quickly, you know, outside of finding someone else who's as OCD as you are who can help you edit, you know. Outside of that, I'm not sure how to do it. Content is such a tricky topic. Content is one of those things that, you know, everybody says, we should get this more content. Our scene needs more this content. But it's the hardest thing to generate. It's so hard to make all this stuff. It takes so much work. Oof. It's hard. I saw some comment here that I wanted to see.
Okay.
Over here, but I can't remember. I think I lost it, so. Oh yeah, see, that doesn't happen. So Spliff says, you know, hope that I got royalties for, you know, John Crofts using that video there, but you can't do anything about that anymore. It's just publicly out there anymore. We don't own rights to it. I don't have any rights to that video at all, so.
Really?
Know. I don't know. How does that work?
Well, the game content itself is not something that you own, but all the other things for sure.
Right. So, I mean, how would I be able to be like, hey, this is all my footage here?
Probably.
You know, but, I mean, would I want to do something like that?
Yeah,
you know,
probably not.
Probably not. So, what are you supposed to do, you know?
Most of my clients who are on YouTube and Twitch just kind of complain about it, and it sucks.
Yep.
I mean, they do try to shut some stuff down, but that's only so effective. And yeah, editing is a full-time job,
like
of course.
I said, why do I want to do that to somebody? Because somebody that, you know, is producing content for the FGC, if I did something like that, then everybody would get mad at me, right?
They would.
So, you know, you just wouldn't want to do stuff like that. Exactly. So, it's a weird situation.
Oh, sure, Nintendo can shut it down, of course. They can shut down the Smash World Tour. Yeah, we talked about that last week, I believe. But yeah, naturally they can. They got the rights. Yeah, I mean, I'm no expert on editing, but I know it's a full-time job for sure.
Yeah. Editing is just like one of those things, because it's not even necessarily... Well, editing is painful. And then rendering is even more painful, because then you just got to wait, and you can't do anything a lot of the times. You just have to kind of wait for it to render, because you can't really do anything else on your computer while stuff is rendering a lot of the times. I mean, you can, depending on how old your computer is, right? So
Can't you?
I mean, I can, but it's like if it's rendering and I try to play stuff in Premiere just to edit more stuff, it's choppier because it's using so much of the video processing power to render the video, and so it's harder to edit. So a lot of times I have to queue everything up and render it overnight.
Right, that makes sense.
You know, and so I just queue up a bunch of stuff, render it overnight,
yeah,
and then you come back and you find a mistake. And you're like, well, I gotta go re-render this whole entire thing again. So, man, yeah, editing is painful. It is one of the least enjoyable parts of content.
Yeah, that's how I do it, is with two computers and this tablet.
Yeah.
So if my upstairs computer is busy in that way and I want to go play a game, I go to the downstairs computer.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I don't play games on my computer, so I can.
If I probably just want to do work, I can just do it on my tablet.
Yeah.
Law work, I mean.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, as far as what Brian F said, it'd be nice if we had more stuff that was related to the competitive side of things that was related. And as he says, he thinks FGC pigeonholed content to be competitive matches or educational content. I think that is true. I think what would be great is if we could figure out a way to get some kind of melding between the non-competitive fighting game channels, which definitely exist and are quite popular, and the rest of the sort of FGC proper, I don't know, the competitive side of things that is mostly not even aware that stuff exists. Mm-hmm. As I think Brian wasn't it by his tweet.
But like I said, how do you bridge that?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the question. How do you create a content that can bridge one to the other? Because, most of the time, even for us as viewers, if we see memes of other communities, it doesn't make us get interested in it. If I see a funny video about like something that happened in a League of Legends match or in a CSGO match, I don't watch that and go, I'm going to go watch this esport now, you know what I mean? And that's the hardest part. So you can create that content, but I don't think it's going to accomplish what Brian F. is hoping that it's going to accomplish.
Well, like I'm a casual RTS fan. Like, I used to be a hardcore StarCraft and Warcraft guy, but not anymore. I still am casual about it. So sometimes I subscribe to channels that do both StarCraft and Warcraft, and sometimes I'll watch it, and sometimes that'll be driven by like, here's the story of a player, and I'll be like, oh, interesting, and then I'll be like, wow, let's check out some of this player's matches. So I do that, and there are probably people who would do that for fighting games and are like interested in fighting games. Maybe they have casual knowledge about it, but they're not like real competitive folks.
I think what Brian F. is hoping for is wide, large kind of.
Oh, okay. If that's what he's hoping for, then he's probably
I don't
the
know,
wrong tree.
because I mean, like, what would be the reason why you would want that kind of content?
To drag in those people who are like marginal cases, like me with RTS.
I mean, So it would be great if we could just ask Brian, but like I would be curious if maybe I should just tweet at him. Like, is he expecting? Does he want this kind of thing so that we can drag in the 0.1%? Or is it that he's hoping to generate this kind of thing so that we get bigger audiences into the fight?
First of all, I don't think it's 0.1%. I think that's way too low. I don't know what the percentage is, but it's certainly more than that. What we can't do is create the interest for fighting games, because that's up to the devs and publishers.
Right.
That's not our fault. That's up to them.
Yeah, Maximilian is the biggest ally that we have.
Totally.
And even there, I think the conversion rate, is... for Max is obviously pretty decent.
Better than most, but still probably not what a lot of people are hoping for.
Yeah.
Because
Max gets huge audiences, and we're definitely... I mean, I don't feel like we're seeing all the Max subscribers show up to fighting game streams. I see more Eris subs in fighting game streams than I see Max subs. You know what I mean? So that's...
But haven't you met people at events who say that they started by watching Max?
Yeah.
I have too.
Yeah.
So there's some percentage there. But no, fighting game content is not going to create the popularity of fighting games.
No.
Doesn't work like that. Yeah, Dream Eater, I was saying earlier, there's so many MK channels that are big that I just don't even know anything about. And I feel like I find a new one several times a year. There are a lot of... It's such a popular game casually. And there's a lot of appetite for content in it. But directing those people to the competitive side of things, I don't know. That doesn't work quite as well, or as often.
Yeah, I mean, like, I agree with you 100% that the only way that the fighting games are going to get that much more popular and bigger is if the games themselves start doing a better job making it so that they can draw people in. The Grand Blue Fantasy Versus thing already, I mean, I looked through the glossary and I'm just like blown away. They had numpad notation in there. They had, they had Okazemi listed in there. They had all this stuff listed in there. There was even one term in there that I feel like was one of the terms that I had made up at one point in time.
Nice.
So, it was crazy. It's crazy. And then, like I said, the move list, they show all the animations of the moves. They've got a cool RPG mode in there. I mean, if anything's going to do it, I feel like that's going to do it. The only problem is they just don't have the netcode that the game deserves.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, Excellent Adventures was probably one of the greatest conversion rate things that was out there. Yeah. I think
it's that max.
Because it was, because honestly, Excellent Adventures was about them trying to be good at fighting games and, listening to them. And honestly, I've told Gutex and Mike Ross, and during the height of Excellent Adventures, I said it was like, it's the best content we have out there.
Yeah.
It definitely created a lot of great stuff, so.
Hard to find that.
Yeah.
Hard to do that. Oop, hello.
Oh, she walked on your keyboard.
That's all good. Well, anything else to say about this?
Nope. I guess that's enough from me. Okay.
You want to talk about the other events that went down?
Yeah, let's talk about
other things here.
Let's talk about some other events here.
So, you want to talk about the launch event first?
Sure. Yeah.
Grand Blue Fantasy versus official launch tournament in North America.
Mm-hmm.
On 1800 Vine Street in Los Angeles, California. Wow, I could have walked there if I hadn't been in Chicago. Okay.
Oh, that's right. You were that close, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Okay. It was right off the exit of... Which exit did I get off of? I forgot. It was just like right off the exit. You just exit the freeway and it's right there. So.
Is it on Cahuenga?
I don't like...
No. You said it's on Vine.
It's on Vine.
Let me see. Oh, it's right next to the Capitol Records building? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We could see the Capitol Records building. Right
I'm looking up the map. Yeah, it's literally across the street. Yeah,
oh, really?
I was there today. Actually, I had to
dang.
go, for other reasons, I had to be literally at that corner today.
Oh, dude. That's...
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, well.
I could have went and said hi to your cats.
You definitely could have. They're right there.
Gently. And be like, hey, what's up?
Yep.
Oh, well. Man.
Anyway, how'd it go? You were there.
I think the event was really cool. I think it went really well. They had a fun exhibition at the beginning of the stream. So it was a regular tournament. There was 2 sets of pools. They played with each other. They capped it at a certain amount of players. And then, when the stream started, they did an exhibition event with some of the voice actors going up against... They were being coached by Justin and Ricky. So they played against each other, and then Justin and Ricky had to fight each other to, assert, their team's dominance and,
that's great.
and such. And, it was actually a lot of fun. I think it was kind of a cool way to have a little... interactive kind of exhibition, but then it just went into the top 8. And honestly, Jeremy and I got to do the commentary for the top 8. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I thought our commentary went really well. I was really happy with the commentary, and the matches were super good.
Were they? Okay, good.
Like Justin and Kizzy's sets were ridiculous.
And who are they playing?
Justin's playing Catalina, of course.
Sure.
And Kizzy's playing Lancelot, which makes a lot of sense because Lancelot is the super rush down, crazy, I'm in your face and I'm terrifying character. But I mean, Kizzy managed to send Justin to losers in the winners finals. It was the exact same thing as the Ninja Killer Sonic Fox situation. Kizzy sent Justin to losers, and then Justin had to come back and try to take it from the loser side, which he ended up doing. But it was like, the second to the last round was just like ridiculous. And some of the things that Justin did were just absolutely nuts. I mean, I was even talking to him. I mean, he was like, "Oh, I'm 100% using the instant special moves, the single special moves." He's like, "Because I can just react to things so much faster with that."
That makes sense.
Like, pow, and I just hit things, and dude, he was doing some wild stuff, and it was really, really good. It was really fun. So I had a really good time with that event. And then they had a little after party. I got to sit down and talk with a bunch of people and hang out with them and everything. And, one of the voice actresses, Faye Mata, I don't know if people know, she used to be, kind of involved in the fighting game community before a long time ago. And I got to talk to her for a little bit because I just wanted to pick her brain about voice acting.
Okay.
I want to figure that out a little bit more. But, talked with a bunch of the players there, talked with Kizzy, talked with, Nerd Josh a bunch who got into the top 8. And it was really cool seeing a lot of those guys there.
That's great.
Yeah. It's also really good seeing Ricky there as well. And she said that she's 100% going to keep playing the game. And honestly, this game is designed for more old school minded players.
Okay.
It really is. Like, Justin, it's the kind of game that because of the way the game is built, Justin, it's going to be one of those Justin games where he probably doesn't even have to practice that much, and he's going to be one of the top players for the majority of the time, because it's such a feel kind of thing, So I'm really excited. I'm really excited for the game. I'm really excited for how the game is gonna keep going in the future. So
nice.
I'm really eager to see it if it's gonna keep growing. The hardest part, obviously, is the netcode because like right now, even all the biggest Sam Show fans are kind of dropping Sam Show at this point because they can't get good matches online and they can't find anyone local. And whenever they go on ranked, they have to wait for like 10, 15 minutes because no one plays online, right? So it's just a rough situation right now.
All right.
Makes me sad.
Good old Vine Street.
Yeah, but the tournament was really cool. I really had a good time there. I was really glad I didn't eat lunch on the way there because Okamoto Kitchen was there as well.
Oh, cool.
So got to get some Okamoto Kitchen.
That's awesome. Right near Hollywood and Vine. Vine and Yucca. Classic. All right, well, anything else to say there?
Nope.
Super TSB also happened.
Yes, this one was interesting, especially for Grand Blue.
It's a big tournament focusing on anime games, and it was in New York, of course. And it had players there from all over the place, actually.
Yeah.
Teresa was there, even, from Japan.
He really loves coming out to America to play.
It's very cool.
He really enjoys it out here.
Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. Winner was Fame96 with Vasaraga.
Vasaraga.
Second was Tempest NYC with Charlotta. We watched a bunch of this when we were hanging out at
cool.
Callisto's house.
Okay.
And yeah, that made me want to play Vasaraga.
Yeah.
I mean, I already did, you know what I mean? But my hesitation was like, I don't want to get saddled with a bum again.
Yeah.
And okay, cool. He wins the tournament. I'm in.
I mean, it was funny because when I was at the launch event, I was talking to Justin, and Justin's like, "Yo, Vasaraga is so good." He's like, "I don't understand why people say this character's bad." He's like, "This is the most sleeper character in the game right now."
Okay.
Then he wins Super TSB, and it's like, well, okay, there you go. I guess not a sleeper. I mean, everyone kept putting him down there with Loane. They were like, "Oh, it's Loane and Vasaraga, Loane." And in fact, at this tournament, I think that in the top 32, there was the only character missing was Loane.
Let's see. I can confirm that that's true. At least the listed ones here. Yes. Yeah, Tempest NYC got second with Charlotta.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Lost Soul got third with Fairy.
And that's the highest tier character that's there. Fairy is definitely considered one of the strongest characters.
Yeah. Very
interesting that first and second were not the top tier characters.
Well, then it was Red in fourth with Grand, then Sonic Soul and with Matera, and Gears with Lancelot got fifth. And then seventh were Grover with Gran and Teresa with Charlotta.
I mean, honestly, like, obviously you can't trust early tier lists and everything. And I thought of Vasaraga, and I was like, there's no way this character's bad. I was like, there's no way this character's bad. And then I played Loane. I was like, pretty sure this character's bad.
That's great.
No, actually, the thing about Loane is that he's not a terrible character. He can win, but he wins through fundamental game engine stuff that everybody else can do, and then they can also do their own interesting individual things. You know, if you're winning with Loane, it's because you're beating everybody through frame traps and shimmying and throws and good times on overheads. And then if you hit someone in the corner with a combo, okay, sure, you murder them. You absolutely destroy them. But, everybody used to think that Iggy was a free win. She's not a free win. The giant lady
Iggy.
super. Yggdrasil.
Oh.
The people used to think she was a free win. She's not. Everybody avoids it now.
It seemed immediate, literally on the demonstration here. I was like,
it'll take only be a matter of time.
It seemed
before
pretty
this
clear to me,
becomes
but okay,
useless.
whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, anyway, it was a fun tournament to watch. Mm-hmm. Nice job. So, like I said, Grand Finals was Fame96 versus Tempest NYC. Anyway, in Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, first place was Tempest NYC with Adachi and Yu, and second place was Fame96 with Susano and Yu.
These two are winning everything.
That's incredible.
That's really cool.
Nice work. In Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2, winner was TSB Lost Soul with Ophel.
Lost Soul beat Teresa. Huh?
Teresa got second place with Jam, and
okay.
Fu got third with Kun.
Oh, good job to Fu. Fu's been playing super well recently. He's always been in that.
He's been strong.
He's always been one of the best players, but now he is in that, you can expect him to win these tournaments.
Nice, that's
all
awesome.
the time situation, so...
Under Night in Birth.
Lost Soul was mic'd up the entire time during the Guilty Gear Grand Finals.
I watched it. Yeah, it was funny.
Oh my god, I need to go watch that. I need to go watch that. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was good. You also had Shine Potemkin, 4th, 5th, Bombay, Axel, and Damon Doe with Slayer, and then 7th were A3 Religion, Johnny, and Savior Faust.
Everybody went out there.
It was cool.
I mean, that's one of the cool things about that, the Guilty Gear community, is they always travel to all the events. I mean, it's kind of similar to the Mortal Kombat syndrome, where you'll see a lot of the same players winning a lot of the same tournaments, but that's because they're the ones traveling, they're the ones practicing, and they're the ones putting in the work.
In BB Tag, 3rd was Dante Thomas with Yu Hyde, and 4th was Grover with Mitsuru Yu, which means all top 4 players had Yu on their team. Under Night in Birth was won by Fox of 42 with Batista. 2nd was BNP Gosada with Chaos, and 3rd was NYCZ Brandon with Line.
Yeah, Batista doesn't need nearly as much time to charge up for all of her stuff as she did
Really?
before, yeah.
Okay.
I heard she can actually charge up the reverse flash kick in one jump now. Before you needed 2 jumps, and I heard you can just do it in one jump now or something like that. So, yeah.
BBCF was won by Base Tuxedo Mask with 9. 2nd was Grunkle Barlow with Valkenhayn, and then 3rd was Fame 96 with Susanoo.
Okay.
Melty Blood, Actress Again, current code was won by XLB Shayna with Michael Roa Valdemjong.
Shoutouts to Alan, by the way, of course, Team Stickbug, or just Stickbug, I should say.
Yeah.
And he does a lot of wonderful things for the anime community on the East Coast, always putting in a lot of work. I mean, he also runs the KVO Cross TSB that takes place in Japan. So he's always doing a lot of wonderful things for that community out there, and he's a really cool guy. I've talked to him a bunch of times, and he's definitely one of the key people in the scene, one of the key leaders in the anime community. So shout outs to Stickbug.
All right, that's all we got for tournament results.
Okay.
What else happened?
A lot of video game news going on here.
Indeed, we talked about the MK11 stuff with the Spawn trailer, the animated movie. Combat Cast will be tomorrow, but there was also a patch that came out today. And that patch, I will bring up here just to remind myself of it, but I went on stream today and went all through the changes. So if you're curious, you can look on this channel and you can see exactly what happened.
So let me ask you this initial question here. Was Katana just that bad? Because she has a bunch of changes in there.
Yeah, I mean, she was on the lower end of things, probably.
Okay. Because she definitely, I think she had the most changes out of everybody.
I think that's true. The change that I think may actually be most consequential is actually now that there's a buffer window when exiting block that is now 5 frames instead of 2.
Oh, so you can do moves out of block a lot
So
easier.
when you block, right, when exiting a block hit reaction, so when somebody attacks you but you've blocked it, you now have a window of 5 frames to buffer something, which means that punishing will be a lot easier.
Yeah.
But so will taking your turn again on moves that are not actually punishable.
Alright, so keep in mind, Street Fighter 4, the reversal window is 5 frames.
Yeah.
Okay? And then keep in mind that the input buffer in Street Fighter 5 is 3 frames.
Yeah.
That's how significant it is, because
it's huge.
people rarely drop combos in Street Fighter 5 with the links, and almost nobody ever misses a reversal in Street Fighter 4. And so, yeah, a 5-frame buffer window is huge.
It is.
That is, I mean, especially going from two frames.
Yeah, it's really big. So this means that some things that are weird to punish, because MK has like kind of funky blocks timing sometimes. Like to punish stuff, the block stun is like not what you would think in a lot of situations. It's like much less or much more than you might think. So I myself am guilty of failing to punish things all the time that I know are like minus 14 that I should just punish, but I screw it up. So this is going to be more consistent. But like I said, it also means that you can more consistently take your turn after blocking. This does not apply if you are the one who attacked in and then you want to continue attacking. So this definitely gives more of an advantage to the defender than before.
Consider it as it giving you a larger reversal window, and
That's
you
what
can
it is.
reversal with any button.
With a button, with a normal.
With normals,
So it just makes it easier to time, which means that you will screw it up less often, so the attacker can depend even less on the defender screwing up their defensive thing. Now, I don't know, it's a little bit of a buff-ish to defense, right? Effectively.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that may be the most like impactful single change. They also they added a bunch of stuff in training mode that you can now do, new practice mode options.
I saw that. That was really cool.
So like you can have custom block attacks that will come out, so you can set the CPU basically to do whatever you want them to do on block, not just like set special moves.
Finally.
Really good.
And again, I mean, it's crazy because it's one of the hardest things is that all of these training modes need to keep getting better.
Yeah.
A lot of the training modes, like if you combined all the features from all the training modes out there, we would have the most amazing training mode out there. But I don't feel like any of them, except Skullgirls has an amazing training mode, and I've heard as a result, them's Fighting Herds has one of the best training modes as well.
Gotcha.
But all the other games are just like missing one small little thing, and then some of them are missing huge, gigantic swaths of things.
For sure.
But the hardest part is, again, like I say to everybody, how do you convince a company to spend that much resources on a training mode that the majority of the people who are buying your game aren't going to buy it because you put that feature in the training mode?
Well, NRS continues to do it, so hopefully they continue.
But I mean, NRS has a history of doing amazing things that, wow, thank you.
Right.
Hey, we're going to put in cross-platform support. Here you go. And you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. So they've always been very good about it. We just need more companies to do that. In particular, probably the Japanese companies, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Tekken 7's training mode, I mean, honestly, before they added some of the stuff, and even after they've added some of the stuff, is barely functional at best, right? If you don't set the dummy the right way, combos will register as a combo that aren't actually combos.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
I do, yeah.
I mean, that's the situation, It's kind of frustrating. You have to know how to set it exactly, so it's on don't do anything and then standing all guard, but if you don't set that, you're going to be like, pow, pow, pow. These unnatural combos are going to be like, oh, look at your combo, and it's not really a combo. And
it does suck.
Yeah.
But there's some improvements for MKs. That's good. So Geras got nerfed a little bit. He got nerfed by way of his distance of forward and backwards dashing being worse, and also there's more recovery when he does little sand trap. They've already nerfed Geras a lot.
Yeah, I know.
They continue to nerf.
I know.
So this is actually confusing to me because I think that he was already in a good spot, personally. Okay. And I'm surprised that they thought he needed anything more. I don't think he got killed, but he's maybe more than he needed to be.
Fanatical Milk asks, do you guys have any idea what the difference in production budget between MK and SF Tekken are?
I do.
Oh, you actually?
Well, not literally, but like,
okay.
Yeah, it's an order of magnitude.
Yeah,
obviously.
I was about to say that there's no question right now that it's like, if you took Street Fighter 5 and maybe Street Fighter 4 combined together, they might not even equal an MK11, and they put a lot of money into Street Fighter 4 when that thing first launched.
I think Geras is still good, but I also think that if you're like a top level player trying to win Final Combat, probably don't go to Geras anymore.
Dang, really?
Maybe. I would say Eternal's the best Geras.
I mean, look,
maybe that one's still
Tweety
good.
said that there was zero chance of him busting out Baraka because Baraka sucks now, and he busted out Baraka.
He sure did, and he busted out the weird version.
Yeah,
of Baraka. I forgot to ask him about that afterward.
It was a Berserker, yeah.
Yeah, I was confused
when
he did that.
I mean, was that just like a I give up kind of thing?
I meant to ask him, and I totally forgot at Final Combat. Gur still uses Geras. Yeah, I mean, there are some Gerases out there, but at this point, it's really just Gur.
They were saying that
Burrito Voorhees, not that many.
They were saying that the mix-up of 1-1 into Sandtrap and 1-1 into 1 is actually fuzzyable. A lot more fuzzyable than it was before.
Right? No, that was a change a while ago.
Right. But it wasn't like that at the beginning.
No. So there's that. They put a gap, flawless block gap in forward 2-1-2. They made it so that the gauntlet doesn't do as much damage anymore. They made it so that the crushing blow on the low sand trap is now if it whiffs rather than how it was before on counter.
Gotcha.
A bunch of stuff.
So okay. So I'm just really behind on the Geras nerfs.
Yeah, he's gotten a bunch.
All right, okay. Then I'll feel a little bad for Geras.
Yeah, I think it's a little too much myself. But okay, like I said, I think he's not dead. It's just more than he needed to be. Jackie got nerfed by way of making it so that the leap costs defensive meter if you do the far one or the close one.
Oh, the neutral one is...
The neutral one's normal. So the neutral one is what you did mid-screen combos with, so you're still doing damage, but your mobility and mix-ups are a little bit weaker.
You can't just launch yourself clear across the screen at the opponent or stop yourself in the air and avoid things.
Well, you still can do the fall.
Right. But I'm just saying. It costs a meter now. You just can't do it willy-nilly all day.
So it costs defensive bar to do the one that launches you with a short jump, and then do the canceling in the air, so it doesn't cost defensive bar. But the short hop and the far leap are defensive bar. Yeah. So this means that if you want to take the risk of like exploding your way, and you can still, but you don't get to break away if the opponent punishes what you do, right? So
okay, that's good. And not only that, but if you do get red and get countered, you have that much less resources to defend yourself when you get up.
That's right.
So that's good too. Okay.
Jade got a little bit, and then her footsies maybe got tiny, maybe more like Anti-Airs got tiny bit better.
What about Johnny Cage? Because I know he was one of the other strong characters too.
Jax got tiny buffs, doesn't even matter really. Johnny Cage, in Outtake, his Rising Star special, where he like goes up and then comes back down.
Yeah, the meter burned version.
Yeah, the one on the way down, meter burning on the way down, now costs a defensive bar as well as an offensive bar.
Okay. That's an interesting idea for them to nerf moves by making them cost the defensive bar.
I think it's cool.
It is. That's what I was about to say. Is like it's a really clever way to do it without nerfing the move, but again, just changing the resources required for it. So you have to think about it a little bit more. I like that.
Yeah, I
that was obviously clearly one of the best things about that character.
Very good.
You just throw that out wherever you feel like it,
And you can do that on Whiff as well.
Yeah.
Now, they didn't change Showstopper Johnny at all, so that's probably still one of the best characters in the game.
Is that the Fireball one?
That's the straight Fireball one.
Oh, okay.
But that one has crazy damage output.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, they all do, I guess.
Okay.
Thanks to Guest Perigod for the subscription. James, where did you get the Ken shirt?
This was a very, very old Triumvir shirt from a very, very long time ago. In the process of spring cleaning my home, I found it. I think it was supposed to be for a giveaway. Actually, it was for a Dogface Show giveaway.
No, Dogface Show giveaway?
So it was like 10 or 11 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was like 10 or 11 years ago.
Oh my god.
So
that might not have even been in the 2010s.
Yeah, I think it might have been a 2009 thing.
Wow.
It might have been a 2009. But I was cleaning stuff up, and I was like, what is all this stuff? And I was like, oh my god, this is all the stuff that Vic gave me to, like, we were going to plan to do this big giveaway that we never did. And it was just my house that they stored everything in. And I was looking through it. I was like, oh, this is a sick Ken shirt. I should just wear it now. So
yeah, right. It's too late for anything else. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Kotal Khan definitely got buffed. His big stand 4, which is a big sword swipe, now is special cancelable, which is really nice. They made it so that if you do far stand 4 into the damage buff teleport in the Bullock variation, that's safe now.
Oh, okay.
So that's really good for him. Katana got buffed, like you said, so she has more damage output. She's better in projectile wars. That's nice.
Did they do anything for Jade? Did they buff Jade at all?
Jade, yeah, tiny bit. They made it so that her little wiggle stick, the back 2, if the first and second hits connect but not the third, she can still special cancel.
Oh, okay.
She couldn't before.
Okay.
Whatever.
That kind of sucks. Yeah.
Nitro Kick has a better crushing blow requirement.
Okay.
Tiny buffs for Kung Lao, Noob, Shao, Scarlet,
I mean, it sounds
Sonya.
like the Kung Lao and the Katana one where you can't just break away from being lifted up into the air is kind of nice.
Right, yeah, Katana and Kung Lao means, so they get more damage output because you can't break away from their fan lift and stuff.
So if they lift you, they can at least just uppercut you if they're expecting you to break away now. So I think that's kind of fair.
Yeah, totally, dude. And then Joker's Crushing Blow, where he hits you with the far... Boxing gloves, and it has to be both max range and counter hit.
Isn't that a throw, or is that...
Oh, Variation 3 has that as a special move.
Oh, really?
It does a lot of damage, that's the reason for it.
Gotcha.
But the Crushing Blow is if max range and counter hit or punish.
Okay.
It was apparently minus 25 on hit before. So now it's plus 5.
So they buffed that version then.
So I feel like Scorpion would have just been able to get up and punish, right? If anybody knew that, just do teleport. Now he's punishing.
Yeah.
I don't know that anybody even knew that it was minus 25. But.
Did they buff Scorpion at all?
No, they didn't buff Scorpion at all.
But Scar said he's one of the most underrated characters right now. So
I think he's probably not great.
Yeah.
So it's a very cautious patch.
Do you think
which I'm happy about.
Do you think he was ruined just because they made the teleport not hit?
I think he was probably on his way out.
Already, right? Yeah. Okay. And was he getting nerfed, or because I mean, when the game first came out, I remember in the beta and everything, I was like, I don't know if this character is going to be competitive. And then when he came out, they didn't really buff a lot of stuff.
They did buff a lot. Yeah. No, they made a lot of string safe.
They made one string safe.
They made at least they made a couple string safe.
No, it was only the sword boom into the kick. That was the only one that
back one as well.
Oh, just raw back one, you mean?
Back one, whatever.
No, that's what I mean. The back one into the thing into the kick. Everything else was left the same way as it was.
I believe forward 4 overhead kickity kick.
No, that wasn't safe. That was not safe. That was
in the beta.
punishable.
Yeah.
No, it was unsafe even on release as well. I'm
I
pretty sure it was unsafe on release. Anyways, whatever. So
I never see that character anymore.
Yeah.
I think he was probably on his way out. Anyway, it's a pretty conservative patch, so I'm fine with that. I'm just a little surprised at the nerf to Garrus. I think that's like my one criticism.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that they continue to be pretty light about changes.
Okay.
Not drastic at any one moment.
Yeah, and it's funny too because they went from being the company that just changed everything constantly.
Yeah.
All the time, like for almost like no logical reason. Why would they change this, thing? And now they're like literally one of the best ones. And like I said, even just with the whole, this costs defensive bar now. Like I think that's a really clever and creative way to nerf something without having to change its properties. You know, I like what they've been doing with that. So.
I highly agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is safe, right? Cool. Anyway, there's the patch. What else happened? So, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus news. Final character in Season Pass 1 is Zooey?
Zooey, probably.
Is it Zooey?
Probably Zooey, like Zooey Deschanel, right?
It's Z-O-O.
That's how you spell Zooey Deschanel's
Really?
name. Yeah, Zooey
what a
Deschanel's
crazy world we live in. So, Zooey.
Yeah. So
Tell me about Zooey.
From what I saw, she looks like a really angry girl. I mean, I don't know much about him.
Yeah.
But apparently she was kind of leaked, but now she was just confirmed. We don't have any gameplay. We just saw like a little bit of an intro sequence for her. For the other two characters, what are their name? Like Jita and
Sories,
yeah. I almost said Zegon, but that's the name of someone in the chat.
Nice.
But apparently, Jita is the female version of Gran. Like, if you play the mobile version, you can pick whether you have a male or female protagonist.
Oh, wow.
And Jita's the female protagonist version. And so, I guess she even looks like she has a lot of the same moves that Gran does.
Oh,
so
interesting.
I'm not sure if she's going to be a...
Dang, is she Ken?
Yeah, but she's probably not going to be exactly... But I think she might be the Ken of the game. Yeah.
Okay, wow.
I think she might be the Ken of the game.
Yeah, that's what Commander Pepper had the same comment.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, that's cool. I've heard cool things about... we talked about Narmaya and Beelzebub.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's funny because I talked to a lot... I played the characters, I messed with them a little bit, and I was like, I don't know about Narmaya. I don't think she's going to be that great. And then I saw Beelzebub. I was like, he's probably going to be pretty good momentum. Then I went to the event and I talked to a bunch of people, and they're like, yeah, Narmaya's not that great. She's good, but she doesn't really have convenient ways to open people up. But Beelzebub is pretty good because when he gets momentum, I was like...
There you go.
Pretty good at this fighting game stuff.
UNICLR Steam release on March 26th. And just like in PS4, free update for the balance patch, but you need to pay for Landrakia.
Yeah, so that's cool. That's cool. I haven't even bought Landrakia yet, so I'm playing the UNICLR version on my PS4 for free right now.
Damn.
I haven't grabbed Landrakia yet, not just because I didn't want to, just because I just haven't put it in my head to go and do it. Because I'm just playing Nanase all day, so and I have Landrakia on the Switch version as well. So
that's important.
I'm messing with the character a little there. So, but yeah, it's really nice that they finally got that update on the PC. It's going to come out on Steam.
Definitely.
People have definitely asked me if I can do like the beginner lobbies on the PC version as well. So I'll try to do that when I have a chance.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Them's Fighting Herds. Wow, official 1.0 release.
I just said that. So
official 1.0 release for Them's Fighting Herds announced for April 2nd, 2020. Wow. Includes story mode.
Yeah, they
in classic JRPG style.
Yeah, they apparently showed a little bit. I didn't get a chance to see this, but apparently they previewed that on stream. And it's like a story mode where you have the people walk around in an overhead view and talk to other people and
so
talk
cool.
to NPCs and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, that's going to be one of those really underrated games, I think, because from what I've heard and from what I've seen, and just like animation-wise, the game is beautiful.
It is.
I think the dynamic music feature that they put in that game is still like one of the greatest things ever. And then it has the netcode, right? And it's based off of the Skullgirls engine. They all said it has one of the best training modes in all of fighting games because it's based off of the Skullgirls one. Yeah. And so, like, this is one of those games that, you know, I'm kind of mad at myself for having not really played all that much. I've even backed it, so I think I have it on my Steam, and I've just barely had the chance to touch it because guess what? There's like 700 fighting games to play. Yeah. But, I mean, like, this is one of those games that, you know, I hope more people will sit down and try to, you know, give time to and play. And hopefully, you know, a small scene can start building up and maybe trying to get bigger, you know. And if the game, balance-wise and mechanics-wise, is really good, you know, it could try to grow. I mean, you know, right now I feel like something like Sailor Moon has a bigger scene right now than them's fighting her. And so, you know, we'll see what happens in any case. Fanatical Milk asks, between UNICLR, Grand Blue, and BB Tag, the gap between console and PC release for anime games has gotten a lot better. Yes, that is absolutely true. Now, obviously, we want them all to come out at the same time in every country because we're at the 10th right now, so we're still 3 days away from Grand Blue's release in the EU, which just, I mean, it sucks for the EU.
Yeah.
I feel bad for them, but...
Wow. And when does the UK get it?
Good night, everybody.
Cleese, thanks for the sub.
Yeah, shout outs to Cleese. Damn. Dang.
Street Fighter 5.
Oh, EU is the 27th? They have to wait till the 27th for it?
Oh, okay, jeez, well, even longer.
Man.
Still more updates on the netcode incoming according to Ono, question mark?
Yeah, well, he just had a vague tweet that he was just like, hey, we're still looking at things. Yeah.
Genius has, great guy. I mean, I just not...
Read out loud.
All right, good. After the SF5 CE update, we have heard various opinions from players. We have a lot of feedback about netcode. Dev team is watching that opinion. Dev team wants to create SF5 that meets players' expectations. And then he has a follow-up tweet that says, did I carry out some of my responsibility for you? Thank you for everything. Please continue to support the Street Fighter series. And then after that he says, I know. I'm terribly sorry that our treatment is late every time. Okay?
Okay. I gotta wonder if they're gonna try to improve it a little bit more because honestly, even improved as it is, it's still not good enough, I think, for like an Olympic Intel event, you know.
I actually think it's perfectly good enough for the Olympics, but as far as like regular...
Okay, yeah. I mean, for justified results, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Of an
event.
Event. If you're trying to make it so that an event has the people who are actually the best to win it, I'm not sure the Olympics is the best one to go with.
Jesus.
Hire me for the Olympics. Anyway, it would be great to have better netcode.
Everyone right now today, dude.
It would be great to have better netcode, of course. Because honestly, there was a brief window of like 3 or 4 weeks when I had great netcode on the PC. It was a brief golden age of online play for Street Fighter V.
Definitely lines in this chat that I do not agree with, but in any case.
Well, you know, there's only so much to say. DOA 6. Dev response to outcry about hair color price.
Have you heard about the hell?
I believe we talked about it.
The hair color outrage, which was if you could pay to change the color of your character's hair.
Yeah.
You know, I mean that's standard kind of DLC things. You know, you picture that being a thing for DOA, but they went even as far as that the original color that you used to have for the hair. Now you have to pay for it to go back. Every
time you change the hair, you
permanent.
Need to pay again, whether that's a reversion or not.
Yeah. And so the devs actually responded to that, and finally, and they said that, you know, they're going to try to change that and try to maybe like, okay, maybe this wasn't the best idea, kind of a thing. So
nice.
There you go.
That's great.
Yeah. So again, I mean, the power of social media, the power of people out there, you know, it's an interesting time right now, you know, having to deal with that kind of ability for people to kind of mobilize, you know.
All right. We talked about some of this community news, but we didn't get to the fact that Anime Evo's initial lineup has been announced.
Yeah, they've announced the initial lineup. There's a potential for more games to be added there. There's definitely some things that are distinctively missing from there. Like, I don't think BB Tag was announced for this.
I don't think so either.
So maybe they're just looking for someone to run it, or maybe ArcSys is planning to run their own BB Tag tournament over there. You know, I'm not 100% sure if somebody else there has more information.
Do you want to put this up on stream?
Yeah, let's do that. I can put the graphic up on stream.
Okay, cool.
Hi, kitty. You are sniffing my ear.
So as you're doing that, I will get to read it. So these games include Puyo Puyo Tetris, Catherine, Vampire Savior, King of Fighters 13, Samurai Showdown Special, Aquapazza, Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax Ignition, Nitro Plus Blasters. Struggling. Yeah, just maximize it.
Which one are you struggling on here?
The one under Nitro Plus.
Where is Nitro Plus Blasters?
On the left side, we're about halfway down.
Oh, Nitro Plus
something
Blasters.
something cross.
Yeah, I don't know what that game is, actually. I'm not sure which one it is. Which one's the cross one? Umineko Cross? Or Umineko? I guess that's what that is. Umineko.
Very good. All right, then we have
Eternal Fighter Zero.
Eternal Fighter Zero, Ultra Fight Da Kyanta 2,
Ultra Fight,
which is hilarious.
Yes.
Guilty Gear Xer. Sorry, wow, jeez. Guilty Gear XX. Reload. Yeah, Reload. Then Guilty Gear.
They're doing the original Guilty Gear?
Guilty Gear.
They're doing the original Guilty Wow! Oh, I almost need to watch that. I almost need to watch that.
Truly a masterpiece. All right, in addition, we have Puyo Puyo Champions, Catherine Full Body,
Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
That's a good one. The King of Fighters 14.
Nice. Windy Man in chat says he got second place in Guilty Gear last year.
Oh, you're the best. Tatsunoko versus Capcom, King of Fighters 14. Then Garo, Mark of the Wolves. Windjammers. Kohime Enbu. Million Arthur Arcana Blood.
Yeah, good luck with that one.
I'm going to move on. Anybody know what that is?
Is that Arcana Heart? I'm not even sure.
Melty Blood.
Toho fighting game. Hiso Tensoku, someone says.
Okay. Then, the Kimono of Friends.
And Guilty Gear Accent Core Plus R. Interesting. So they have Guilty Gear Accent Core Plus R and Guilty Gear XX Reload. So they have Reload and Plus R.
Guilty Gear.
And regular Guilty Gear. Well, I mean, regular Guilty Gear is a different part of the series. Reload and Plus R are in the same series.
Hey, what is it? What's the Kimono one? What's it actually called?
The Kimono of Friends?
Yeah. Is that actually the real title? Is it just
that's what people are saying, so... Yeah, of course, Plus R is very different than Reload, but I'm just surprised that they're putting two versions of essentially the same series on that, so...
That's cool. Mm-hmm. And then there's something that's like staticked out.
Yeah, because there wasn't anything else announced, and so I think it's just imbalanced, kind of thing. So, but I think that they're still having a lot of abilities. Kimono Friends is an anime about animorphs. Okay.
That's cool.
God, have you heard about the Animorphs book? Like, I heard, like, it ends in, like, the craziest, like, way.
Isn't that a series?
Yeah, it was, like, a series, but then, like, there was
Is there an end?
There was a book of it, and the book apparently ends in, like, this really super serious way, like, this crazy war, and, like, everyone's like, what the hell? And, yeah, apparently it's, like, actually legendarily really deep the way that story ends.
Okie doke.
Yeah. Yeah, some people say it's like a kid's book, but shit gets real.
That's kind of cool.
Main characters died, mad PTSD stuff, ending is a cliffhanger.
Sick. Okay,
Yeah.
rad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, that's cool. We got 25 games here. Sounds good. If they'll add more, I guess we'll see. But they always do a great job, and it's so cool that they run games like this.
Yeah, of course.
You know, catering to scenes that don't have quite as many players, but are nevertheless important scenes to cater to.
Yeah, that's true.
great.
No HNK or no Sailor Moon.
Right.
That's an interesting one.
Okay, yeah,
So
fair
why
enough.
we just talking about Sailor Moon? Was them fighting herds even one of the games that was in there? No.
No.
Oh, they should probably try to run something like that as well. Dude, the more I watch Sailor Moon, the crazier that game gets, dude. I swear.
It looks
that game is
super crazy.
broken.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one character that can backdash infinitely in the corner and stays invincible the entire time while they're backdashing in the corner, and that character apparently is very low tier.
That's great.
That's wild. That's wild. But I definitely saw a match where someone just started backdashing in the corner and then the other person couldn't do a single thing.
Sick.
Yeah.
All right. And don't forget that this coming weekend is going to be...
Yeah, they do say that. See a game that we're not running, please step up to the plate and volunteer to run a game. We will help you. So, like, I know Samurai Showdown 5 Special is being run by Aru, for example.
Oh, cool.
You know, so obviously he loves Samurai Showdown, so he's stepping up to do that one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. There you go.
Okay.
Reflex 10K tournament is happening this weekend in New York, New York.
That's the one that K-Brad is running, and K-Brad says shout-outs to everybody who is showing up to the event. Well, I mean, if K-Brad can get back from Russia in any case. So
I'd love to know why he was in Russia.
I think they're just there for vacation. Wow. Doesn't look like you believe that.
I'd love to visit someday. I've always been fascinated by Russia.
He's
I'd
there
love to
with
go.
he's there with Mike Ross right now.
I know. I know. I just can't imagine how that came to be. I'd love to know.
Oh, they were invited by the Russian FGC. There you go.
were they?
There you go.
I'm not saying anything's wrong. I'm fascinated by it. I'd love to go. I'm being serious.
No, I know you're being serious. I'm just laughing about the whole thing. So, yeah. So that's going to be running in New York.
Yeah.
Marvel 3 event, and I mean, if you look at the list of the players in there, it's like a nice little reunion, man.
Right.
You just get all like name some of the players that are signed up for this thing. I mean, obviously, if they travel for it. Some of the players may not actually travel for it.
Look, it's a $50 venue fee and $25 entry per game, so it's, you know, you gotta... You're already putting money in just to have your name in here.
Yep.
Yeah, Flux, Chris G, Timo...
Hey, Seattle's Chris G.
Really?
Yeah, he moved up to Seattle now.
Wow, I didn't know that.
That's where the EG house is.
Oh.
So he's going to be living in the EG house now.
Wow, okay. Chris G, Timo, Justin Wong, Tra, Dual Kevin, Crazy Joe, Peasy Boy... I haven't heard some of these names in a while.
Yeah.
Flocker, Joker, DJ Vest.
Wow.
Kyle P, Angelic, Snake Tits,
Nice.
Winrich, SJ.
Wow, Winrich.
Wow, these are ancient names.
Dude, this is...
Winrich is
Isn't it
probably
crazy
20
to
years
think
old
that
now.
these like are all ancient names?
Punisher, Baba Ganoush, Remy Martin,
Scrub X.
Ninja Nam, Frankie G,
Lord Jimmy Bones.
Ray, Joey D. Oh, our own Shogundo's in there. Jacko Man, that makes sense. Let's see, who else do I know? Go to the last page here. Senior Taxi. What? Senior Taxi. A name I had never thought I'd hear again. Ryan LV. K Money. I think those are the ones that I know. Senior Taxi.
Chris G Killer. Oh,
Dude,
man.
I don't know if we ever told this story, but I don't remember who was there, I guess. But so yeah, Senior Taxi beat Chris G once.
At an NCR, yeah. And that was when Chris was unbeatable.
Right.
He could not be beaten.
So whatever the next tournament was, I was hanging out with, I don't remember, some Marvel players. And Senior Taxi came up and we were chatting, and we were talking about how it's really hard to beat Chris, and how like it's how the game is, right? The state of the game, basically. And so Senior Taxi, who has he beat Chris once and has never won a tournament, and he was like, oh yeah, I'd love to hear how other top players are thinking about these situations. We have to. I don't remember the rest of the conversation, but
right.
In his mind, he was already
right.
He had skipped the part where like you take a big
consistency.
Taking a big name is like one of the levels on the like ladder to becoming a top player, but like you're not at the place yet. You're not.
Oh man. The guy was good, yeah, for sure, but wasn't. Consistency is everything when it comes to tournament performance. So.
Oh, by the way, you know who else is there? EMP Obama. I don't know who that is.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that's it. So this is going to be a $10,000 tournament, which is super cool.
It's going to be exciting to see.
It is exciting. Yeah, that's going to be this coming weekend.
I mean, Marvel 3, like we said, it's such a good game. Such a good game, so I'm really excited to see, this event, watch it this weekend.
Definitely, man.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's actually all that you wrote down.
Okay. If there's anything else that anybody thinks that they would like us to talk about in the chat, let us know. Anything else that we might have missed. But outside of that, we're both continuing to stream as much as we can.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put up the Grand Blue Fantasy videos that I did yesterday. But I need to sit down. I'm going to have them uploaded. I just need to timestamp them and then edit the second half of them. And then still been playing a lot of Tekken too. So
cool.
I've become the monster that I hate.
I read that.
Yeah, because I'm selfish predationing everything everywhere all over the place.
Nice work. That's
so
what you got to do.
Card is so broken.
I'm going to buy Grand Blue to play Vasaraga. But I'm also just like stoked to play Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. Like, I came away from the weekend feeling like, I really want to get better at Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
And I really want to get better at Street Fighter. I don't know, that's how I was feeling.
I want to play more Grand Blue. I want to play more UNICLR. And I want to play more Street Fighter. Still want to play Tekken. I would like to still play Soul Calibur. I definitely want to keep playing Sam Show. I definitely can't do that, though. I mean, the reason why I've been playing so much Tekken recently is because it's just basically when I'm done editing or if I just need a break or something, I just run over to the couch and I lie down. And the cat jumps on me and I just sit there and I just play on my phone all day because I just want to stop thinking about stuff.
I play while lying down on my back with a cat on my chest, fighting games.
See, I don't know how... Oh, because you have the controller. You have the split box. You have the split box, so you can do that. Yeah. But for me, I don't know. Is Final Round actually canceled? Final Round is not canceled, so why would they be giving refunds?
I don't think so. Yeah. Not that I know of, anyway.
The hardest thing about me is, if I'm not streaming myself playing the fighting games, I feel bad for playing fighting games. It's weird. So a lot of the times I'm like, oh, I don't feel like streaming right now, so then I won't play the fighting game.
Oh, man. You gotta have your personal time.
And it's weird. I never...
You have to... I feel like this is important personally.
Yeah.
You have to have personal self-time. Not all of your gaming time can be public and shared. That just gets exhausting.
Yeah, it's weird.
Even if you enjoy the public and shared stuff, you have to have your own time.
That's one of the hardest things is the only time I play fighting games is when I'm just in training mode, basically. I just mess around in training mode testing things all day. That I don't stream, although people have said that they would even be interested in watching some of that too. But I mean, if I did that, then I might not actually do that either,
Right.
So
I don't have a picture. Oh yeah, I put up a picture of me in that play posture. I'll try to find that and retweet it again, but I've put that out there before. When I went over to Callisto's house this weekend, I played against Casmer in Street Fighter V for whatever reason. I don't know even why he sat down to play that video game. But I was lying down, you know, with the little pillow on my neck, looking up at the TV screen with my left hand behind my head and my right hand mashing on the punch buttons. And I probably took 5 games in a row against Casmer.
You hand slapped him to death?
I literally stunned him with hand slaps, with Honda hands. Unable to block. And he knew it.
I'm sure he had very nice things to say about the character in the game after that.
Oh, yeah, totally. He sat down saying beautiful things about the game, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
It was funny.
This is what I mean. Whenever I play David in fighting games, he's always the nicest guy.
I am nice.
He never trolls anybody.
I know.
He never tries to, play weird or laugh and giggle to himself about anything that he does. It just never happens,
Man. Yeah, sometimes I feel bad when I stop playing people. Because I feel like I've, made them think that I'm, better or worse than I, am at a fighting game. Because I'm playing in a way that I think is funny that I wouldn't play if it was a tournament. Whether I'm winning or losing, I wouldn't play that way. And I kind of feel bad about them walking away thinking wow, that guy was pretty wild. What an idiot. Or wow, that guy makes very interesting decisions and beat me a bunch. And neither is actually long term true.
Yeah. Like I said, I remember that one time we were playing Mortal Kombat, and I just kept hitting you because you kept jumping on your wake up.
So
and then that's one of the hardest things. That's why I always say I have trouble playing against you, because I'm just
at the local at Ignite, I played against somebody in Mortal Kombat, and we went back and forth basically. And then the last round that we played was me thinking that he was playing Kano, and I thought he would just do the command grab. So I was like, I'm gonna jump out of this command grab, and he just did 1-1, 1-1, 1-1 for 10 times, and I died. And he turned to me and he was like, "What was that about?" I was just like, "I don't know, man. I thought you were gonna do a command grab." It was great.
I'm actually pretty bad in poker, just because I'm too emotional. And it's very easy to read what I'm trying to do. I'm not very good at poker, so...
Yeah, I never learned it. I know the rules, but I never played it really.
Poker's really fun. I just don't know all the complex rules about how calculating pot odds and stuff like that. That kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's it for me.
Okay.
Good luck to all of us as Joe Biden continues to stomp through. I'd like to thank my parents' generation. My parents are great. I love them. They're awesome. I'd like to thank their generation for basically just consistently disappointing everybody. Yeah. For 50 years.
Did you watch the town hall that Bernie did on Fox News?
Oh, I didn't. I read about it and saw some clips, but
really good.
Only some clips.
I just don't understand how anybody can watch that and not just be like, we need to vote for this guy.
I found out some of my family friends voted for Bloomberg. And I was taken aback in the California primary. They're very nice people. They're very smart people. And I was just like, what do you mean? My parents told me, and I just was like, how could that be right? What do you mean they voted for Bloomberg? And they voted for Bloomberg because they thought that Joe Biden wasn't going to win. So he was their secondary for Joe Biden. And I was like, that's not any better. You haven't done anything in explaining that to me. That's not... I have more questions now, not fewer. So, there's a lot of people out there who really want that stuff, and they'll probably get their way. Cool. They're great people, too. I like them a lot.
2020 is going to be a rough year.
Yes, it will be. But younger people don't think that Sanders is going to do the things that he's campaigning. Nobody who thinks that they're really going to win the Senate enough to get all of the things that Sanders wants. Nobody. Nobody thinks that. So instead, think about what the other things the president can do, which is a lot. Trump's not getting anything important, well, not much important done legislatively. Legislation died. Legislation died as an idea in something like the early 2010s. It's been dead, and it won't be resuscitated for a long time. So the other things that a president can do are very important. Foreign policy is super important. The ability to set the tone for the country is very important politically. He has a huge impact, Trump does, on what the media covers, on the political ideas that get covered, and the Democratic candidate could have the same kind of impact if they become president. There's so much that a president can do. You could maybe staff the federal government again. Maybe. It's currently, we don't have anybody in charge of some very important things, State Department to everywhere. You could restaff those people that are folks who suit your political theory. The president has so much stuff that they could do. No, legislation's dead. What else can they do?
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see how it goes. All right.
Yeah. So I got.
Like I said last week, I'm encouraged for the progressive movement in the future. This year is probably not the year, but I'm encouraged moving forward.
I mean, honestly, I think it is the right thing. If Bernie doesn't do well this Tuesday, the right thing to do is for him to drop out at this point, I think.
Oh, you mean after tonight?
Yeah, after tonight.
I don't think tonight's tonight, but I think that it is soon. If it continues in the way that it's continuing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's soon.
But, yeah, in any case, I made championship rank with Wesker now. So.
Nice work.
So Wesker's, I mean, it's interesting because Zero is clearly very strong, but the nice thing is that Wesker can fight most of the Zero decks decently, so he's actually can do pretty decently. So
nice.
He actually can survive for a little bit. So
Sanders had heart attacks. That's right. You know, one of those candidates can think. Still, health is not the road to attack Sanders based on Biden. That is not the proper angle of attack. Imagine being like, among these two, I think the healthier one's Joe Biden.
I mean, that was like Trump with those ads talking about, you know, who are you voting for?
Right,
Your kids are watching.
Right,
look at Biden sniffing this girl's hair, you know, and it's like, vote Trump. And it's like, okay,
some angles of attack don't make much sense. All right, anyway, let's get out of here. I'm going to go to Worlds Collide to play Mortal Kombat after this show.
Nice. I wish I could go.
Come hang out.
Do not have the ability to.
Level of skill does not matter. Some players are good, some not. We're just trying to hang out and get better. That's all.
Yeah, because I will be editing even more tonight.
Is Worlds Collide streamed? That's a big negative. The Street Fighter one is streamed, and Commander Jesse does that, but that's not tonight. Yeah, I think that Sanders should stay in at least until there are debates between him and Biden. Because my only thought left as to how Sanders could win is if Biden goes up on stage and can't speak.
Right.
Maybe then people will say it's Sanders. I don't know. Maybe not.
Okay. Where is Worlds Collide at?
In Northridge, California.
Okay. Oops, that was going twice. Okay.
Later.
And then what am I supposed to do? One more thing.
Oh, that hammer was so cool.
Which one? Oh, the hammer was super. Oh, we forgot to talk about the hammer.
Yeah, the hammer was
one
of the best trophies I've ever seen.
Yep.
So cool. It weighs like 50 or 60 pounds, I heard.
Dude, it looked really heavy.
Yeah, it's legit. There's nothing half-assed about that. It's super cool.